Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Good folks of the algorithm. How you doing? How you doing? Happy holidays. Christmas is around the corner. If you celebrate it, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I am so sorry that I came back late. My plan was to actually start at around 4 o'clock or 4:30, but it takes a lot to do my hair, guys. Like, when today was a wash day, and it takes hours and hours for my hair to actually dry. And even now it's like 80% dry. It's not even all the way dry. So I apologize for that. I'm sorry. I wish I could have started this earlier at my normal hours, but I wasn't able to do that. So I want to say shout out to the newcomers that just came into the chat, and also my day ones. Brucey, how are you? I am so happy that you was able to go home today. That is great, great news. Amazing news. Happy holidays to you, sir. We prayed on it and you got home before Christmas. Happy holidays. Sweetheart, it's so good to see you, dear. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. I hope everything is well with you and your family. Truly appreciate you guys. Truly, truly appreciate you. And okay, so far that's all that's came in. So just make sure you're hitting the like button as you're coming in, or you can hit the down button. Doesn't matter, it still helps the channel. And share this out to anyone who likes this type of immersive type of conversations where we discuss cold cases and old cases. And I want to say shout out to the few channels that I do use their videos to do these reviews for. Red Thread Interrogation, Red Tree Crime, Stay Awake. Those are the main three ones that I do like to use. EWU as well. So shout out to them. Always appreciate it. They have great videos, and please go ahead and check out their channels as well for their new and up and current videos. All right, let's see. Hi, Marv. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the compliment. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Oh my God. He said, Brucey said, another spectacular reason I'm in love with being a guy. A drop of Dawn dish soap and it's Brucey, you're a hot mess. You are a hot mess. Oh my goodness. Hey, Miss J, it's so good to see you, mommy. Que lo que? I love you, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you, dear. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. All right, guys. So I do have some great cases to go over with today. So again, like I said, just make sure you're hitting the like button for me. And I think the first one we're going to go with is Genius Detectives Tricks a Teen Killer into Confession. Now, when I didn't really review this, so we're going to see this together, but what I have seen, it seemed like maybe the mom and the teen was in on it, or the mother was covering for the teen. And the teen thought that he had everything figured out, but once you get into the interrogation room, you know what happens. Usually people tend to crumble at that time. So we're going to check this out. Let me go ahead and pull up my screen. Let's see. Oh, hold on. There's a few other people that came in. Bull City, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. That's truly appreciated. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. Truly appreciate it. And let's see. Dev Dutta, how are you doing? He said hot chocolate. Happy holidays. Yeah, it's kind of cold up here. We need hot chocolate up there. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. And oh my goodness, my bro, Freeze from No Captivity Crew. How are you, sir? How are you? Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. And I know you don't probably celebrate a lot of the holidays, but happy holidays to you, sir. And thank you so much for the $10 super chat support. Truly appreciate it, bro. Truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Moz, if you can you please drop down Freezy's channel to a link to his channel into the chat, just in case if anyone is interested in different type of topics. Freezy has a great channel for that. He usually have channels for debates. So if you're interested in other topics, especially debate platforms on hot issues, check out Freezy channel. Again, bro, thank you so much. Truly appreciate you and happy holidays. Thank you, Miss Jalen. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's hope we block that person. So we're gonna check this one out. Let me go ahead and pull up my screen and we can get into it, okay? All right. I hope you guys can see this, and here we go.
Your son shot at, she has died.
Oh my God.
Christina Withrow. Just hours ago, she helped her son commit a horrific crime.
My mom handed me the gun after that. I let off the shots.
And no matter how innocent these two act, they will be outsmarted because of one simple mistake.
If she was walking towards you, why is there a gunshot in her back? I have to go deliver the news to somebody's family that their daughter or their mother is dead.
Around noon on April 3rd, 2023, panic erupted at a small apartment complex in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dozens of 911 callers and witnesses reported seeing two individuals shoot a woman in the parking lot. When officers arrived, they found 31-year-old Monique Garcia on the ground, shot 3 times. She would die from her injuries moments later. Fortunately, it didn't take long for police to find a lead. Next to Monique was 44-year-old Christina Withrow, a resident of the complex, attempting to hide bullet casings from the gun used in the shooting. At first, Christina took the blame, claiming she was the shooter. But witness testimonies painted a different picture. According to them, the shooter wasn't Christina, but her 18-year-old son, Christian Crespin. Even more alarming was the fact that Christina told him to flee the scene, which he did. Not before flipping off Monique as she lay dying on the ground. Oddly enough, the same witnesses also stated they saw Monique charging towards Christina and Christian. So were they just defending themselves, or was this premeditated murder? To get answers, detectives needed to find Christian, which became their main focus for the next 24 hours. A day later, Christian was found at a friend's house and brought in for questioning, along with his mother. Now, detectives hope to figure out if this really was self-defense or something much darker. The following footage has been provided to us by the Albuquerque Police Department.
And Merry Christmas
Kristen, what's
to
your phone
you.
number? Awesome. Cool. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How are you, in general?
All right, so we're going to just start this off before they start the interrogation. I find it weird because the first thing I want to know is, did he know the victim? Now, the victim is 33, he's 18, the mother's in her 40s. The mother is obviously covering for him because she was trying to get rid of evidence and she was going to take the blame no matter what. Now, I want to know if this is something that happened prior, that they had, they had issues with this woman, or was this like, one of those road rage type of situations and it escalated to this point? Because right now I'm not really clear on the connection or the relation between the victim and these potential suspects. So we're going to figure this out. Let me go ahead and play a little bit more.
I don't know, just play, usually chill with my friends.
Yeah.
Work.
Nice. Where do you work at?
Chevron.
Chevron. Which one do you work at?
The one on San Mateo, Montgomery.
Ooh, that's a busy one. How do you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
We got a lot of homeless come in and stuff.
What else do you like to do?
I like to go take pictures of my car, and then
Nice.
a lot of times me and my friends will go to the trails.
Mm-hmm.
So
You go hiking, or what do you guys do?
yeah, we go hiking, free climb.
Oh, you actually... You know what's funny about free climb? So since I moved here, I've been learning a lot about like limestone. So have you ever been up to the... where is it at? In the foothills.
No, I
So
don't think so.
foothills, they like pretty much like the rocks like mass produce limestone, and limestone is actually a lot easier on the fingers when you're going to free climb because it allows like an actual grip when you free climb. Do you guys take pads and stuff when you free climb?
Not usually, no.
No? That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Have you ever free climbed before?
No.
It's scary. That's like you fall to your death on that one. That's pretty cool. You said you like cars?
Yeah.
So what kind of cars you have?
All cars in general, so mostly like Lamborghinis and Ferraris.
The fast ones?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Do you like work on your cars and stuff like that?
Yeah, I go to school for it, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you like sports or anything like that?
Yeah, I like football.
Football?
Okay, so the approach that the detectives is taking him is because he's a youth. He's 18 years old. They didn't have him at the scene of the crime. They only have eyewitnesses stating that it was a male. Then they also have his mother being there at the scene of the crime where the victim was laying at from the gunshot wounds. So their strategy is let's not go like let's not go hard on him and get him to turn inward, especially looking at his mannerism now. He doesn't seem like the very social type. He doesn't seem like he's a social butterfly. He seemed like he's he's more a loner. He does his own thing. He's a lone wolf. So immediately any type of aggression towards him, he would go inward. He wouldn't be kind of freely to speak about him. So their tactic right now is, talking to him as a youth, talking to him as a friend, trying to get to know him. What is his likes, his dislikes, what he loves about his cars, and what he tends to do on a regular, basis, outside of school or whatever his mother has him to do, whether if it's working or not. So that is the tactic that they're using to keep him open. They don't want him to close in. But let's go on a little bit more.
I don't know much about football. Did Wisconsin,
The football team?
Yeah.
The Packers, they're alright.
Yeah. That's not your team, though?
No.
What's your team?
The 49ers.
Ooh, intermism. Alright, I get it. That's fine.
What looks like harmless small talk is actually a masterclass in building rapport. Christian, just 18 and facing a murder investigation, is tense and emotionally shut down at first. But after about 30 minutes of casual talk, he appears far more relaxed than when he first entered the room. So when the detective finally shifts to questions about the events leading up to the shooting, he cracks open like a box of chocolates.
How was yesterday? Talk to me about your day yesterday.
I don't know, just nothing really. Bought a new tire. Got something to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to your tire?
It's getting old, so I had to replace it. It was getting bald, so.
Nice. It was expensive?
Yeah.
How much was it?
Well, I only paid $45 for it.
Oh,
but,
where'd you go? You went in the hood somewhere to get that kind of a deal.
It's Chato's Tire Shop on
Chato's.
Zuni, past Louisiana.
Okay. Chato.
Yeah.
We'll check it out for some tires. Louisiana and Zuni's.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Where'd you guys go eat? Or did you go by yourself?
Just Wendy's.
Nice. What'd you get there?
Just a Frosty.
I haven't had a Frosty in a minute. Those are good. You get fries?
Yeah.
You gotta dip the fries in the Frosty. Who'd you go to eat with?
My mom.
Nice. Christina, right?
Yeah.
What time did you guys do that?
I think it was around like 10.
Oh, you went early?
Yeah. Because they open around like 8:30, so we went at like around 9.
Okay.
Tire replaced, so.
Oh, around 9.
Yeah.
Are you able to I guess because you work on your own cars, so did they replace your tire or you replaced it?
Well, I take it off and then I just take it to them, so they don't
Oh.
charge me the labor fee for the putting it on the car and taking it off.
Gotcha. Okay. What time did you get home from Wendy's?
Wendy's around 10:30-ish.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. That is true, Bruce.
What'd you do when you got home?
I was just changing the tire.
Oh, okay. Did you have your impact tool?
No.
No. So talk to me about when you were changing your tire. Talk to me about that.
I don't know. She was just talking to me while I was changing it.
Who was?
My mom.
What are you guys talking about?
We're just talking about what we're gonna do for the day and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as after you're changing your tire, where were you? You said you're at Ortiz.
Yes.
Were you guys on the street in the parking
In the
lot?
parking lot.
Okay. Did your mom help
Well,
you do
hello,
that or not?
Joe. Happy holidays.
Usually not.
That's good to know.
Who came by when you guys were in the parking lot?
I'm not sure. I didn't really see anyone. So, I seen a few cars pass by.
Did you guys talk with anybody?
Not usually, no, unless like the neighbors come out. So,
Did the neighbors come out?
no.
Everybody was inside?
Yeah.
Okay. So what time did you leave your apartment yesterday?
I want to say around like 11:30ish or 12 or somewhere around there.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Okay, 11:30, 12. Where'd you go after that?
I just went to my friend and we chilled, and then he said he had to go do something, so I went and chilled with another friend.
Hey there, my darling. Happy holidays
What,
to you. Good
friends
to
did you first
see
go
you.
So first I went to my friend Jay's, and then I went to my other friend Dylan's, we met up at a park, but yeah.
What park do you guys go to?
The one it's a little bit past Montebo on Lomas. It's to the right, I'm pretty sure.
Montebo Lomas? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar about there, sorry. How's that park?
It's pretty nice, I didn't even know it was there, so.
Montebo Lomas. So, we're here because we want to know exactly what happened yesterday, okay? And I think it's important for us to hear your side of exactly what happened. We've talked with a few people, so I am interested in hearing your side of what happened. I think it's important, especially with something like this. So I just want to backtrack just a little bit to when you're changing your tire in the parking lot.
Yes.
So let's talk about that one.
All right. So while I was changing my tire, my mom saw someone go towards the back of the apartments where they're not supposed to be. So the first apartment in the back there, actually someone rents. On top of that, the next one after that is also rented out.
Okay.
And then the other two, I believe, are abandoned because they were infested. And so a lot of the times, we'll go back there.
Yeah.
And so she told her not to go back there, and she's all get off the property and all this. And so she pulled out her gun as the was walking away, was like, "You better get off the property." And so when that happened, I started to walk towards my mom.
Hey, Miss Joanne. Happy holidays, sis. Happy holidays.
My mom handed me the gun after that, was like, "Here." So I let off 3 shots.
According to Christian, he and his mom went to Wendy's for breakfast around 9 or 10 a.m. After that, they returned home at around 10:30 and began changing a bald tire on their car. In the span of the next few hours, they saw Monique coming up to them, confrontational and aggressive. And this is when everything went wrong.
So pretty much listening to his side, it was something like just like a regular confrontation that just spiraled out of control. It doesn't seem like they actually know this woman. But my thing is, if you look at his schedule, right? Early in the morning, you take your tire off, you take it to the chop shop because they're going to put a new tire on. You go to Wendy's, you get back home around 10:30, you're going to put your own tire on. My thing is, why was it such a concern for this woman that you don't know to not go into these back areas where potentially crackheads and people who like to lauder is over there? Like, why was it like a big concern that it got to this type of confrontation? You know what I'm saying? To the point where somebody had to pull out a weapon. There's something a little fishy there. I'm not buying it. I'm not really buying that that's the whole story, because, like, again, people walk by everybody every single day. There's so many people that's doing things that they're not supposed to do. Normally, they're not paying attention, or normally they'll go to the side, they'll call police, or, if someone is trespassing. A lot of people are not taking things into their own hands anymore when it comes down to people doing something they're not supposed to do, right? The fact is that your mother was very adamant about this potential woman not doing it. A confrontation happens. Apparently, this woman had a weapon. She pulled it out. Don't know how y'all was able to get the weapon from her, but you literally shot her with her own weapon. So I'm thinking that there's something else going there, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on going forward.
Christina handed Christian the gun and told him to shoot around her, which ended in tragedy. On the surface, this incident might seem like it was either an accident or that the two were trying to protect themselves. However, there is only one problem. An autopsy of Monique's body revealed that one of the 3 bullets had entered through the back. This means that at some point, she attempted to run away after the first 2 shots, and Christian still pulled the trigger. So, was it still self-defense at that point? And did Monique still pose a threat? These are the key questions detectives must answer to determine whether this was self-defense or homicide.
When your mom handed you the gun, did she say anything to you?
She said shoot around her and not towards her, and that's what I did. But
when you what gun were you shooting?
My stepdad's.
Was that the brown gun?
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you in the parking lot when you?
So I was at the end there where the two spaces are. I was in the second space. Yeah. I walked from where I was changing my tire, and I shot through the fence.
Oh, you shot through the fence? Okay,
yes.
So, and I'm sorry, because this area's big, I was going to say
this was like a fence, okay. And we'll say the two parking spots. I was standing right here while she was standing right there.
And who's this again? Your mom?
So this is the homeless lady as she was starting to walk away, and then she came back. Okay. As she was coming at my mom, so.
Okay. How was she coming at your mom?
Like aggressively, like saying, "Oh, I'm not afraid of a gun. Oh, shoot me." So. I'm not sure. I didn't look.
Okay, so there's three things I want to point out. So I guess the victim was a homeless lady. So that's why the mother got involved. These squatters and homeless people keep on going towards the back and, and staying there in these vacant spaces is bringing the community down, is bringing drugs down, or other type of crimes are starting to happen. So that's why she was so adamant about, hey, you can't go back there. Now, we don't know the state of this woman's mind, if she's homeless or if she's on drugs. She could have been a little irate. She could have made a little bit threatening, moods or, moving towards them. But second thing I want to point out, he said that he shot through the fence. So if there was some form of barrier, even if she was coming at you, I don't really think it's going to be considered self-defense in this case. I know that they probably think that it was self-defense because if she was raging at him, but you just admitted that there was a fence, that you shot through the fence. So there was a barrier there, and you and your mom both could have retreated back to your homes. And now to realize that it was the mother's gun, it wasn't even her gun. I'm thinking that the victim was like some regular, passenger who had, who might carry a gun, and it just an altercation broke out. I didn't know it was this. I didn't know that it was actually a homeless woman who was going back to wherever she's staying at. And now this, that was a big problem, a big issue in the area that you lived in. And you told her not to go back there. You had a bunch of words for her. And then you pull out a gun and you shoot her. Then you said that your mother said to shoot around her, but the wounds that this woman got, you didn't shoot around her. You shot her 3 times, and you said that you shot the gun twice, but you hit her 3 times. So there's a few things that's going on here that is not going to help them if they're trying to really use the self-defense case, because clearly it is a form of homicide because you were minding her business. She wasn't minding yours. She was not on your property. You went over there and you followed her to areas. You didn't call 911. You have to take all those things into consideration. There were so many different steps that him and his mother could have done that this woman would have been here today and not not, RIP. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but we'll see if they really think that this is a self-defense case. I don't see it. From the information I'm getting, it's not self-defense whatsoever. It will be looked at as a homicide.
Did you see her with any type of weapons? No. Okay. So you're here.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
She's over here.
Yes.
And you said she was walking away.
Yes. And then so my mom comes back. Or my mom's standing right there so my mom would be like right there, standing with me. And so as she's walking away, she pulls out the gun, and threatens her with it, like, get off the property or I'll shoot you. And so she starts walking towards my mom. And so that's when my mom handed me the gun.
Okay.
And I let off 3 shots to try and scare her away, but I guess 1 hit.
How do you feel?
It's not how I would think I would feel.
See, even that doesn't even make sense. So she saw you with the gun and she started to walk away. So she wasn't lunging back at back at you, running up to you while you had the gun out. So like I said, this is not self-defense. There was a fence that was literally keeping you separated. She wasn't on your property. However, she was going to a vacant property in your community that you didn't want her to have access to. That's where it all starts, folks. Like, we have to really start from the beginning and break it down. You were not minding your business. You was minding her business. Instead of you calling the police and letting them address her or removing the squatters in that vacant area, you went and approached her on your own. She has a back and forth with you. You pull out a gun. She goes heads and she turns about face, and y'all proceeded to shoot her, or quote unquote try to scare her, because you didn't want her to go back into that vacant property. That's the whole point. You didn't want her to go back into the vacant property even after she argued with you. So you threatened her, saying that if you go back there or if you stay on this property, I'm going to shoot you. So this whole I was just shooting around her to scare her is bullcrap. You literally was shooting this woman when she was going back to the vacant property that you told her, if you go back there, I will shoot you. It's not self-defense at all. It's homicide. It's homicide. That definitely didn't make sense. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It does not make sense at all. That's pure homicide right there. Because you was threatening her, telling her that she needed to leave, and if she didn't leave, you was going to shoot her. That's what you said to her. You admitted that. Let's go on.
I just don't know. It's hard to process.
I understand. Have you ever shot a gun like that before?
Exactly, Bama. Or called
yeah, I've gone shooting, so.
Yeah. When you were here and you were pointing the firearm, the gun at her,
Yes.
Was your mom saying anything to her?
I don't believe so, but I'm not sure.
Okay. And what was she saying?
She was all, shoot me, is all, I'm not afraid of no gun, so.
And then you let off 3 shots?
Yeah.
Where were you aiming at when you let out those shots?
I was just aiming outward like this, and just boom, 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 so.
And, so when the first shot went off, you said you shot through the fence, right?
Yes.
Okay. How far away is that?
In real life it's about, I would say like 20 or 30 feet.
Okay. And that's when you let off the first shot?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, when did you let off the other ones?
Well, I let them off all like in, so after the first one I let off, I started to let off the other 2 as well.
Okay. What did you do after?
My mom told me to leave after, so I just left.
And is that where you went to your friend's house after that?
Yeah.
Okay. And, did you, take the gun with you? Where's the gun?
No, I'm not sure where the gun is. She took it with her.
Because he's a child, he's young.
Did you give the mom, I'm sorry. Did
I
you
gave
give
the gun
to
back.
your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. And, what happened? So you just left right away? You didn't see anything else after that?
No, she told me to leave, so I just left.
Okay. Did you think about calling 911?
No, not really. Everybody was already calling 911, so.
Okay. You said you went back to your house a little bit later on.
Yeah.
What did you get when you went back to your house?
I didn't grab nothing, so. I was going to, but there's a lot of stuff, so.
Yeah.
And then my room was a mess, so.
So as far as your intention, when you pointed the gun at her, what was your intention?
Scare away.
Now that we've heard Christian's side, It's time to hear from Christina, and her reasoning for handing over the gun might be the most troubling part.
So that little boy done told too much information. He done proved that it wasn't self-defense. Neither one of you, your mother or you, were in danger. That poor woman was not on your property. She was going to a vacant property within your community, and you didn't do any of the proper steps. You didn't call 911. You didn't let the police know, hey, listen, the squatters are coming back again. We closed this up. They're not supposed to be here. You didn't do any of that. In fact, you took matters in your own hands. You were supposed to be literally putting on your tire and minding your business. Your mom was supposed to be just checking up on you. And then I want to keep this in mind. The mother, this is the mom's weapon. The mother literally had the weapon, took it out, and then gave it to her son to shoot at someone. I'm a little flabbergasted about that. That why would you just hand over your weapon to your 18-year-old son to shoot her? Like what? You didn't want that on your conscience? And then he also clearly admitted that you wasn't shooting at the ground just to scare her. You was literally shooting in the direction where she's at, which would hit the back of her neck, in her back, in her shoulder. You was shooting upward. You wasn't even shooting to the ground. So none of that was to scare her, and you shot through the fence. You were protected. She didn't come at you with any weapon, nothing whatsoever. He gave a lot of damaging information, and it's bad that he doesn't know how much information that he gave that will completely, throw out his case of self-defense for him and his mother. So now we're going to have to look at the interrogation of the mom and try to understand her mind and her psyche as into why would she put her son, her 18-year-old son, in this type of situation. Let's see. And go ahead and pull up the screen.
This entire case. We apologize in advance for Christina's fidgeting, which makes it sound like she's flushing a toaster down the toilet.
Tell me what you dealt with. I would love to hear what you had to deal with.
This woman, she was walking her and she looked like she was going into my neighbor's back wall. My neighbor has been harassed a lot, and we stick up for each other. I don't know her really well, but I do know that she saw her son shot 8 times in front of her in her home to go do something with the ex-husband. I don't know the whole story, and I'm pretty sure that she does drugs here and there on the side, which I don't agree with because I'm not a drug user. But that's how, like, this woman is half, I can't imagine what that was like. So, anyway, I told her, don't go in that walkway. Don't stay out of the alleyway. Stay off of this property, please. And then she started screaming, "I'm just getting this laundry basket," and yelling, and I was like, "Please just leave, just leave, just leave. Please leave." And my son's here, I would feel protective, and I was scared. Because all these people that come up, you never know what they're going to do. You don't know what, almost everybody in our neighborhood has some kind of weapon on them. My husband made me so scared they're going to do, which I don't like because then scared me. And I think it was because he was worried because of the shooting before, and I don't trust myself. I'm not a good shot. I don't like that kind of stuff, and she started. She was screaming, and then she was walking away, and then she turned around and she was running towards me, and I was like,
she wasn't running towards you, and she was walking towards you, and y'all pulled out a gun, and she backed off, and she was going back to the property. You didn't like the fact that she was not listening to you and telling you, don't go back there. If you go back there, I'm going to shoot you. That's the reason why you handed the gun to your son, right? And supposedly told him to shoot around her to scare her off and scare her away. All this fake crying as if she's traumatized. No, ma'am, you're not the traumatized one. The woman who lost her life is the one who's traumatized. You and your son could have had mind your business. And what kind of mother are you? to put your son in that type of situation. Because this woman was not doing anything to you. She would have never got in an argument with you, would have never, cursed you out and start coming at you if you was minding your business. Or if you're going to be a nosy neighbor, call the cops. Oh my goodness. This woman was not a threat to you. She was not on your property at all. Let's go on.
Who's she? I'm sorry.
So, I don't know. Homeless lady, drug addict, like and it's always been doing, like every day.
Have you seen her before?
No. Never seen
Never?
her. Not that I can remember. They all look the same to me. I'm not trying to be mean, but there's always different people there in that neighborhood, in front of the houses. I've never experienced anything like this before. It puts a lot of dreads on you, especially as a parent. When I have my daughter crying in the middle of the night, I have to get up and the dogs are barking, or somebody screaming. One time, someone came and busted one of the windows, and then they just broke the lock. They always break the locks on the gates, so we don't even get to feel safe in our walkways. All my kids, dude, they're all trained to use a gun, except for me. It's making me really stupid. So stupid that
So she starts coming towards you. What?
I asked him if he could put one only a few feet away from her, not hit her, because I know he's a good shot. So she refused because I was afraid she scared me. My son said, I'm afraid for my life. I don't want to, because I'm not a good shot. I don't want to shoot because I might actually hit her by accident because I don't know how to shoot that good. And so he said, yes, I said, sure, because don't hurt her, but I'm scared, and I'm so sorry, I didn't understand that part. He said, yes, and I said, are you sure? I don't know why. I was like, I should have just ran away when they were out. This is so stupid. I feel like I'm involved. I couldn't stay involved in the world. Why would I do that? I didn't mean it. I don't know what I was thinking. I've never done anything like this before.
So you asked him, can you put one next to her?
Next to her, like I was 2 feet away. That's what she would leave because I was afraid. Next.
Handing a gun to your son and making him kill somebody because you're not confident using it yourself isn't exactly going to win Christina Mother of the Year. But was she acting out of fear? Did she hand the gun to Christian because she truly believed she was protecting herself? That would be what you might think if it weren't for one glaring question. Why did she tell him to run? That one decision shifts the focus from self-defense to something far more suspicious. To get to the truth, detectives need to examine intent, not just Christina's, but Christian's too. And legally, intent is divided into 4 key categories. 1. Deliberate. Did he intentionally mean to kill? 2. Reckless. Did he understand the risk of shooting the gun and choose to act anyway? 3. Negligent. Was he unaware of the risk altogether? 4. Accidental. Was it a complete accident? So which one is it for Christian?
So, tell me how you felt when she was walking.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to point out. Sorry, guys, I had to make sure I put my food, because I'm cooking as well as doing this. I had to make sure I had put my food in the oven. But one thing that I want to point out, that whining and crying that the mom is doing is forced. You can tell. I was hearing her voice. I'm hearing the tonage. It's so forced. She's mumbling, and I wouldn't be too I don't think I would be too off if his own mother has a drug problem herself. And this is why I don't think it was on. This is another reason why I don't think it's self-defense, because his mother seemed like she's on some type of drugs too. Like maybe might be doing opioids or whatever. Now she seemed like she's on some type of form of drugs herself. By the way how she was talking, the mumbling under her mouth. Now all of a sudden she was like, "Oh, my life is all ruined," and all this stuff like that, and I was just so scared. And all. No, you were not. You were not scared. You know what I'm saying? You weren't scared at all. Most people, if you have a gun and you're going towards the threat, that doesn't mean that you're scared, right? it means that you're instigating. You know what I'm saying? You're being an antagonizer. You're making the situation worse than what it really is. And it's funny how she tried to skip over the fact that this woman was not on your property. You watched this woman walk towards the property that you didn't want her to go, and you took you and your son to go over there to confront this woman. Okay? Like, that's like the biggest thing. And then she didn't really even give that much of a good explanation as to why would you even give the gun to your 18-year-old son. But now you're saying that you gave it to him because you're not a good shot. So if you're not comfortable, and I don't know what state this is, right? Because normally, like in states, when you go get your gun license and stuff like that, you know, you have to go get training. You have to go learn the mechanisms of the gun, you know, learn about recoil, learn about all of that, you know, trigger squeeze, all that, right? So you can get comfortable by holding and handling a weapon. Normally they want you to do things like that, okay? But why would you want to get comfortable, or you're not comfortable shooting the gun if your all attention was just to scare her? If your attention was really to scare her, why would you be afraid about handling the gun? And then again, why do you think that your son is better with you, better with the gun than yourself, your 18-year-old son? Like, there's a lot of things that's just not adding up. And tell you the truth, I think that him and his mom should have had gotten a lawyer and not spoken to anyone. Not, like, literally, especially the son, right? The son, he should have had not said anything. But the detectives was able to pick up that this boy has antisocial issues. He doesn't have that much community and stuff like that, not that much many friends and everything. He's really like to himself, very laid back, and you know, he's into his cars and stuff like that. They picked up on that and they utilized that to get him open, you know, to really explain a lot of things that's going on. But we'll keep on going. We'll keep on going. Let's see. Bob San. Oh, sorry, Bob Santee. How you doing? Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays. Brucey said if he had weapons training, he knew the possible outcome. He wasn't negligent. Exactly. He if he had weapons training, then he's not negligent. He's not negligent. No. Mm-mm. You have a weapon and you're surrounded by your people. You aren't scared. Exactly, Bruce Lee. No, you're not a scare at all. Absolutely. Hi, how you doing, Omar? It's good to see you. Happy holidays to you and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right. Let's see. Miss J says he's a lone wolf. Yeah, he's a lone wolf. Yeah. And she asks, does the mother may have a record? That I'm kind of like concerned about too. Maybe the mother do have a record. Maybe that's something they need to look into, whether or not if she has any record of, you know, being caught with drugs or paraphernalia or anything of that sort. Because like I said, she's acting as if she's under some type of vice. Don't know what it is. It could be sleeping pills. It could be painkillers, you name it. But something about her interrogation, you know, hit me like this was a confrontation amongst people who probably might be sharing the same type of vice. But let's go on.
I felt like she was going to attack my mom.
What do you mean attack your mom?
Physically harm her.
But you didn't see anything on their hands, right?
No, besides like her body gestures, no.
And then your mom hands you the gun.
Yes.
Which you already said it's your stepdad's gun, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you point it at her.
Yes.
And you shoot at her?
Not directly at her, to the side of her, and I shoot, yeah.
Okay. And you shot 3 times?
Yes.
Okay. You then said that she then
walks down the street.
Okay. And
that's all I know.
Do you see her?
No, I don't see her after that. After she walks down the street, I don't know where she went, so.
Earlier you said that you knew she got shot.
Yeah. I read the news report, so.
So, and you say you don't know how you feel, but can you try and explain to me how you feel?
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to explain.
Do you see her fall?
No.
So you just see her walking away, you give the gun back to her, and then you...
I get in the car and I drive away because my mom told me to drive off, so.
Did at any point, did you ever feel that you needed to turn yourself in?
Yeah, it's probably better that way. At least you know, would have a better chance. But
Who would have a better?
my mom, because that's the actual person who shot, even if it wasn't intentional. It's still better than someone who didn't. So
you didn't mean to pull the trigger?
I'm not gonna say I didn't, because I'd protect my mom again. So.
You mentioned you went back to your house to grab things.
I went back to my house, but I didn't grab nothing, so.
Okay. So by that, it kind of makes me believe that you were going to grab things.
I planned to, yeah.
What were you planning on doing then?
Going to my friend's house. Same place I was at, same place y'all got me. Just all it is.
Did you tell your friend what happened?
He knows.
Yeah.
What did your siblings tell you?
I feel kind of bad for this boy. You know what I'm saying? Because he was put in a position where he really thought that his mom's life was in danger. I don't think he understand that there wasn't no real danger and threat. And if it was a danger and threat, your mother was the one who initiated the danger in the situation. But once he felt that his mother was in danger, he said it with his whole chest. I would do it again. I would do it again and to protect my mother, and that is his reasoning behind it. So no, he's not going to feel sorry. No, he's not going to feel any remorse. However, I don't believe him about him not seeing the victim drop after shooting. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I believe you did see her drop. I do believe that your mother told you to hurry up and get out of here, and you did get out of there and leave. And she stayed behind to try to pick up the shells as much as possible. She was willing to, to take the rap for it. Like, she didn't want you to take the rap for it. But it's hard because, like I said, I don't blame him. Like, there's nothing that you wouldn't do for your parent that you love. But in this situation, it was the mother who made the wrong decision. She put you and her in danger to the point where you got in this confrontation with this woman who just seemed that she decided to back up and that she was going to be like, it is what it is, but it wasn't good enough for you because you wanted her to not go into that vacant lot or that vacant apartment that's in your community. You were trying to tell her or enforce the law that she wasn't supposed to be there instead of actually getting law enforcement and having them enforce the law. Let's see. Brucey said, I have a cousin whose her sons do everything she says for them to without questioning. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to say that that's a super bad thing. You know what I'm saying? If you feel that your mother's threat is in danger, I don't see nobody who really actually loved their mother or their father just sitting there and watching anything happen to them. I don't see that happening. But I don't think he got the way how he's talking. I don't think he's seen everything like necessarily from the beginning. And then they have to go back and probably speak with the mother, because I'm starting to think that when she went outside and he was out there, putting on his new tire, she went over there and followed that woman and then came back and told, while she was going to get the weapon, came back and told him to come with her because this girl is threatening me and all the stuff like that. I don't think that he got the true information about what happened where your mother was being nosy and following someone. But let's go on.
Well, I'd rather not say that, but...
What did your stepdad tell you when you went home?
He just lived there. So...
Didn't tell you anything?
No.
Did you know who this was? Have you ever seen her before? Can you describe what she looked like to me?
Just a darker lady, longer hair, and some ripped up clothes, I think. That's all I know.
Did you see any tattoos or anything like that on there?
No. Other than the dirt being on her body, you couldn't see anything else.
Okay. Was she carrying anything?
I don't think so.
No. Did she have a purse or anything like that? Do you know? Okay.
From his statements, it's clear that if put in the same situation, he would do the exact same thing, no matter how excessive the force, or even if Monique were running away. Now it's time for his own mother and partner in crime to lay out her intent in the very same way. Because it's entirely possible she gave the gun to Christian in the first place to avoid being the one to pull the trigger.
So you gave the gun to Christian and you said, can you put one next to her? And you wanted him just to like shoot her like 2 to 3 feet away from her.
Away from her.
And then you said he shot 2 more rounds.
I think because she kept coming towards us, and I think he was getting afraid, that she was coming to do something to us. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking.
And where did those other 2 rounds go?
I don't know. I think it was the thing that possibly hit her because she didn't say anything at first. I was like, oh, thank God, because that scared me when he pulled the trigger to it. I was like, oh my gosh, and it stopped, like that, and it looked like it was possibly too close to her. So I was but I couldn't froze for a second, But she was, like I said, she hit the gate and she was had turned back around and she was coming back towards. So I don't know what he was thinking, if he was getting scared because she was screaming when he first started shooting. The first shot, and then he went.
Right,
and
exactly,
then it was like a
Brucey, exactly.
Again and again.
What happened after that 3rd shot with the gun? Where'd it go now? Did he give it to you? So you said, give me that. Did he give you the gun?
Yes.
Okay. And then, what happened after that?
He was afraid. I was afraid the next one we should wait because, like I said, no. Right after I got the gun thing on, I was like, oh my gosh, because I heard the girl say, "You shot me, homegirl," and I was like, no, I didn't. But I don't see anything. You look fine to me. Because she turned around and she was walking away towards the Murphys on the sidewalk. I'm like, because she went and she shot. I thought she was full of shit. A lot of people in that neighborhood can't believe anything they say.
When did she start walking away after the first shot?
I don't know. After the third shot. After the third shot, she was walking towards us. Then she turned around and started walking away. So I thought, oh, thank God nothing happened. That's what I thought. And nothing happened. I thought she was okay. And I thought, oh, thank God I was.
Lady, what are you talking about? How do you think that she's okay? And oh, thank God nothing happened. You saw your son pointing the gun directly at her. You literally instructed your son to shoot at a woman. Okay, to shoot at her because she was continuing to go on to the property. Then you said after the 3rd shot, you seen her she started heading back and you thought it was okay? Really? You really want me to believe that, but then you instructed your son as soon as he shot her to go ahead and get in the car and hide. You don't even believe that yourself. You don't believe that yourself. Brucey says she told her son, I already got 2 strikes, 1 more and I'm going away. I need you to do this so I don't get in trouble. I think that that's a possibility. I really do. It's sad, but I do think that that's a possibility. Let's go on. Let's hear some more of her lies.
I was doing anything, but it wasn't good after that because it scared the shit out of me, and I really thought she was okay. I didn't think she was in, and then it was one of the neighbors yelled across the street like she got shot. I said, no, she didn't. And then she was like, no, she really got shot. And I seen them run over to her, and she kind of sat down, and they were helping her, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're taking a shot. And I got, so, and then I told my neighbor was standing there, she's not at she's right before, and I was like, oh my gosh, because she goes, I'm on the phone with the police. It was her husband came outside, and I said, but it was me. I didn't want them to be afraid because I know that they're my neighbor. I said, it was me. It was me. That was my gun. And I was like, but it was an accident. And so I yelled, and they were there. My neighbor's calling the police already. So because obviously she needs help, right? This woman, and my phone was dead, so I couldn't call 911. I ran to my front door, and I told my son David, when something bad happened and I can't come in the house, but take my phone because it's dead. Charge the police to my husband. The African girls came outside and they were just kind of seeing everything that was going on. And I was like, can you please call my husband? And I just told him he got on the phone, he was at work, and I said, I'm sorry. I think I shot somebody. And
I feel like
I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting really fed up with all her mumble talking and all her because I know it's not really like I can barely even understand what she's saying if I'm not even reading the captions, But pretty much what she said doesn't make sense because if you really thought that she was hurt, why you didn't call 911? You wasn't that far from your house. Why you didn't call 911? Why you didn't take a cell phone, call 911? Why didn't nobody call 911? Why didn't you, and if anything, because if you sent your son off to, to run away, why didn't you go and render aid? Why would you go run to your neighbor's house? You did everything but help that woman. You called every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but you didn't go and help and assist that woman. You expected everybody else to call 911 and to go down there to help her and everything like that. No, you ran to your neighbor's house because you're like, oh crap, I'm in trouble. I don't know what to do. I had my son do this. I don't want to get in trouble again. I can't be around with the cops. And again, that's what you was doing. You was trying to, get your story straight pretty much, or have your neighbor who you're close with try to say, well, she was attacking me, right? I'm the victim, right? And it was self-defense. That's what you was trying to do. You did everything but not help that woman. You literally set it up for that woman to be shot. And I'm sorry. I'm just getting a feeling from her. I might be wrong. It's not like I haven't been wrong before. But I'm really getting a feeling from this woman that this woman and you had many run-ins with this woman before. This is not a complete stranger that you don't know, right? I feel some animosity coming off of her about this woman. Let's see. Brucey said her son is her scapegoat. I think so. I believe so. And I think that she think that they're going to take time off of him or not give him that much time because he's 18 years old. And also because their argument is that all of this was self-defense. Yeah, there's more to that she's letting on. Brucey said, I think I shot somebody, but her son has a weapon. Right. Like, exactly. Yeah, I believe that. But let's go on. Let's continue this.
I feel like there's one or two things that you're leaving out. And I do want you to be honest about this part, okay?
I actually told you the whole
was the girl that was yelling at you.
Mm-hmm.
You said she was walking towards you.
Yes. She walked, she grabbed the whatever basket she said she was grabbing that I couldn't see on the other side of my son's car. I started walking.
So I'm going to ask you this question, maybe you can answer this for me. If she was walking towards you, why is there a gunshot in her back?
She told herself right here when she said she got shot.
Okay. So why is there a gunshot on her back?
I don't know. She was walking towards us.
Did your son shoot her as she was walking away?
As she turned, I don't know.
That's important right now. Did your son shoot her as she walked away?
No, I'm almost 100% positive that she was looking at us the whole time.
Exactly.
And then she grabbed herself, she turned around, she started walking, and she said, and then she turned back around and she said, "You shot me home, girl."
So she got shot in the back. There's like right there and there, she got shot in the back. Your self-defense claim is out the window. At one point, she was not in a threatening posture coming towards you. She was literally not facing you anymore. And you or your son still proceeded to shoot her. Right then and there. Because she cannot explain it. The whole point is that this woman was being so aggressive that she was coming towards you in a fit of rage. You didn't know what she was going to do. You didn't know what she had on her. And this was the reason why you got your son to shoot, to try to scare her off through a fence. Like, I'm going to continue to bring that up. He shot her through the fence. There was a barrier. She wasn't even on your property. All of that does not add up as into why this woman lost her life. And then now to get confirmation that she got shot in her back? And listen, she is lying through her teeth. She's completely lying. And a lot of what she's saying doesn't even make any sense. Like, she's about to tell her, oh, well, when we shot the first time and everything, she turned around and she acted like everything was okay. And she said, oh, you shot me, girlfriend. But okay, so then when did she get shot again in the back? When she was walking away, right? It's not self-defense. It's not.
That's what she said. And I was like, what? But I didn't see a meter in the back. She was facing towards us, like, and so that's my honest answer of what I think. But
I really do.
I don't think he would do that.
Keep in mind that at this point, Christina is completely unaware that Monique passed away in the hospital, but that will change very soon.
So, right now, make sure I ask you.
I don't want him to do that.
So your son, I'll agree, you guys both put yourself in a very tough spot, okay? And, it's an unfortunate situation, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have to be, but I also, I understand where you're coming from. I understand the situation you were put in and, your son shooting, but,
I don't know what he thought he was protecting her.
First and foremost, I can tell you, the female that your son shot at, she has died.
Oh my god.
So unfortunately, we're in custody. What we're doing here is we have a job, and right now our job is to find out exactly what happened. I will put that you were honest and truthful, and you were cooperative with police. I will put that in my report, okay? You are going to be facing some serious charges, okay? And yes, ma'am.
Somebody died.
I just heard that. Yeah.
And I have to go deliver the news to somebody's family that their daughter or their mother is dead. And your son has to answer for that, okay? Because he pulled the trigger. And yes,
there is no real
culpability in this because you handed him the firearm and you said what you said. We have tons of witnesses, okay? So I want you to understand there's a lot of witnesses that saw what happened. So we knew what happened going into this, but your honesty, it goes a long way with us. So thank you for that. But as of tonight, would you like to know your charges? So tonight you will be charged with an open count of murder. You're going to be charged with aggravated assault with deadly weapon. Conspiracy. Not spit on it. Conspiracy, and also tampering with evidence. Tampering with evidence because when you pick up the casings and you take a gun and you remove that stuff, that's a crime. Okay, you can't. When something like this happens, I'm not saying, I'm not going to give you any advice, but don't ever touch anything. Don't take the gun to help your son, or don't give your son a gun and say, But since you've been cooperative, okay, like, I will do something for you. I know your husband, he asked me to call and let him know what was going on. What will happen from here is we'll book you into MDC. Your son will be booked in. Eventually we're gonna take. So all of that's something that you'll talk with your lawyer about. You'll talk eventually, that's something, we don't do that part of it. We just do.
And I'm gonna be locked up until everything.
That's also up to a judge. After this, you'll have like an arraignment, it goes to a grand jury.
Complaint would make me, what do they call it, a running risk or?
So you'll have a detention hearing eventually, and the judge will just rule or determine whether you can be released pending trial. And that is something that your lawyer will discuss with you, okay?
Over the next few minutes, detectives walk Christina through what to expect following her arrest. Not long after, Christian is given the same rundown, and it begins to sink in that his life, too, is about to change forever.
There's probably something better we could have done than immediately pull the gun out, but
Like what? What do you think could have been better?
I don't know. Could have called the cops, my mom could have fought instead of just going to the gun. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff we could have done.
Yeah.
I'm not asking what you could have done different, I'm asking how you feel.
How I feel? That it was the wrong choice.
Do you feel bad at all?
Yeah. I'd rather not have people die. Because I'd rather not die either, so.
What we're trying to do is just get what's in your head, how you feel, how you felt, during this moment. I think you've been extremely honest, so I appreciate that, man. Okay? This whole situation is just really unfortunate. I have to go do an extra notification after this and let the family know that their daughter has died. And she also had a little boy who now doesn't have a mom. So I have to go make that. And I know that's not your issue, that's not your problem, but, we're here because of that. You're young, man. You're really young. And everybody's in a bad spot because of this. Your mom's in a bad spot. You're in a very bad spot as well. Okay?
You know you're being charged with, right?
Mm-hmm. They did not tell me.
So as of right now, you have an arrest warrant, or you have an arrest warrant. You're going to be charged with an open count of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, tampering with evidence, probably ×2 at this point. Okay? Do you have any questions for us at all?
No.
Well, it's unfortunate we met under these circumstances, man. I wish you the best of luck with everything in the future. I hope you make better choices. Alright? Do you have any questions for us at all?
No.
Okay. Do you need
The officer, yeah.
Do you need water? Do you want to use the restroom or anything? Okay, sounds good. Have you been arrested or anything like that before?
No.
No? Okay. When you get up there, they allow you a phone call. Okay, I'd offer to get you some numbers, but I can't go through your phone. Do you want to write any numbers down or anything? Nothing? Okay.
When the trial for this mother-son duo began, Christian's defense initially claimed he had a brain injury, but that argument didn't hold for long. In September 2024, Christian Crespin accepted a plea deal and pled guilty to second-degree murder, meaning the act was malicious but not premeditated. He was sentenced to 18 years, the maximum allowed under the agreement. Christina, on the other hand, was hit with several charges, including first-degree murder, aggravated assault, conspiracy to commit a felony, and tampering with evidence. As of April 2025, she is still awaiting trial.
That case was very interesting, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously the reason why she is gonna get more time than the 18-year-old is because she set her own son up. She set her own son up so she wouldn't have to go to jail. She figured that he's young, they're not gonna give him that much time. But if she was to go to jail, it's gonna be under the jail cell for her. The fact is that woman was never a threat to you. She was minding her business. It doesn't matter if she was homeless or not. It doesn't matter if she was a squatter going to a vacant property in your community. This is why you pay HOAs or whatever not. This is why you have security in your community. Call 911, get the security involved, get management involved, but you keep your ass at home and mind your business. You literally went and followed that woman. You started a confrontation with that woman. You went and got your weapon and as well got your son. And in the process, you was threatening that woman that if she continued to go to the property that you didn't want her to go to, that you was going to shoot her. You admitted that. Your son admitted that is exactly what you said to that woman. And your son aimed fire. He never once did he shoot to the ground. He literally shot directly at her. Then you literally shot her in her back. So she was not a threat to you. I'm glad that was given out. It's unfortunate that poor boy, he's doing 18 years. But in a way, I think his life can be, disrupted about this. I'm not saying that he might not be able to make a comeback into society, but he shouldn't have to give up 18 years of his life over this foolishness because you had him over there shooting as if this woman had ran up on you, was pulling your hair, was about to stab you and everything like that. He really was really fearful for if his mom is going to lose his life. And he acted in that way and he admitted himself. There were so many different things that they could have done that would have not led to this point, but he followed the instructions of his mother. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. Let's see. All right, so I have another case for you good folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. Make sure you hit the like button for me. Truly helps the channel. Or you can hit the down button. It doesn't matter. It still helps the channel. And just go ahead and share this out with anyone who likes to go over these video essays on closed cases. If you have any cases of your own that you would like me to review, go ahead and put it down in the comment section at the end of the live stream. I heart everybody's comments. I read them and I will put it in my trusty notebook and we will review any case that you want me to go over later on in the future. So the next case that I got for you good folks, let's see, is about a dad. So a dad kills his son and he thinks he's going to get away with it. Now, this is unfortunate because when I saw a little glimpse of this case, you would think, well, parents also have the right to self-defense if their kids is coming at them in a threatening manner. If their kids are trying to harm them or make them lose their life, parents have just enough right to, to defend themselves against their own children, right? But I don't think that this is exactly what it is. So we're going to go ahead and look into this. Let's see. Oh, hi, Zulu. How are you doing? Happy holidays. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy Sunday. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bruce said, nowhere I'd rather be. Thank you, Brucey. Thank you. Let me go ahead and pull up my screen and we can get into it. All right, and here we go.
To say this, but your son did not survive his injuries tonight.
This is Otis Anderson Sr., who has just found out that his one and only son has died. A son that he shot along with his wife of over 2 decades.
I said, are you serious? And then he turned around and he shot me.
Because she was shot twice.
She must have got in the way.
Now, no matter how much he pretends to be innocent, detectives will begin to realize that the father they see isn't the father Otis is, because hidden beneath the sobs and wails is a twisted man.
And I'm like, hey, boy, you ain't gonna hurt me. Now, I'm seeing you don't do that.
What happens then when he charges you?
Me. If I could do it all over again, maybe I'd take a black cab.
On November 29th, 2021, dispatch in Jacksonville, Florida received a 911 call with the kind of chilling words you never want to hear. There's blood everywhere. When police arrived at the home of Otis Anderson Sr., his wife Denise, and their son Otis Jr., they saw just how painfully true that was.
Holy sh**. That is a big old blood splatter there, boy. This guy lost a lot of blood.
Otis Jr. was barely clinging to life after receiving several gunshot wounds to the chest. A football superstar who played with the Los Angeles Rams and the UCF Knights, he had a bright future ahead of him. But now medics were unsure if he'd even survive the night. What they were sure about, however, was who shot him. His own father, Otis Sr. Police rushed Jr. to the hospital alongside his mother Denise, who had suffered 2 grazing shots in the altercation. But what was the altercation about? Well, as police took Sr. into custody, he sure wanted to tell them about it. And he clearly doesn't sound remorseful about what took place.
I'm in my house. I'm getting attacked. You don't want to hear it? Okay. No one even asked me my side of the story.
While his son and wife are raced to the hospital for treatment, Otis Sr. is taken into custody and questioned. The following footage was kindly provided to us by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office in Florida.
Hey, Mr. Anderson. I'm Detective Dishman. This is my partner, Detective Smith. I know it's been a long night. I apologize for taking so long to get down here to speak with you. We just had to do some other things before we got down here, okay? I apologize.
That's what I thought, Brucey.
Before we can get really started into all this, obviously, I only know a little bit about what's going on. I'm trying to clarify some things to get a full standing of what happened today. Obviously, all that's very important because we all know there's multiple sides to every story.
Yeah.
Before I can get a full understanding of what happened tonight, I do need to read you your rights. You're not under arrest at this moment, okay? Because I don't know exactly what happened today.
Detectives read Otis Sr. his rights, and very quickly they're off to the races. Now, despite this case being public record, police did redact Denise, his wife's name, from the interrogation because she is a victim. So just keep that in mind.
So, I see your hand's a little dried up blood. Is that an injury?
Yeah, well, my son dog bit me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that on both hands?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
So, I mean,
Yes, sir.
it's been a long day. Had nobody told me, status of my son.
I can tell you, the last update I had is I have one of my partners is at the hospital and they're still working. So, as soon as I can get an update, I will give it to you.
Nobody gave me because my wife panicked and she passed out and they took, so I'm like that.
It's fine. I can tell you that. I have not even got a chance to really see your son. Because, when the hospital does their that's them. I'm not going to interfere in that. Okay? So as soon as I can get you an update on that, I will. And if my phone, text message or something.
So I had to stop it for a little bit because right now, this dad seems very convincing that he was just put in a bad situation and that he never intended to hurt his son or his wife. But I'm really not buying it because unless your son had a weapon, I don't see why did you even have a weapon or a gun on you to shoot your son. And then obviously I think the mom got shot because she was trying to, cover her son, or cover the situation. Why would you be even pulling out a weapon on your family like that? Outside of them having a weapon themselves, right? But it doesn't seem, and we'll find out, it doesn't seem like the son had a weapon. It doesn't seem like the mother had a weapon. It doesn't seem like it was any outside or other people involved in this outside of these 3 family members. So I'm just wondering, why was the weapon even present to begin with? I'm concerned about that. Let's see. Yes, please go ahead and tap the screen for me. I truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, Brucey. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And hello and thank you to John Tay Sims. Thank you so much for coming. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. But we'll hear a little bit more right now about him, explaining the situation. I will say that what he did right now, asking about the whereabouts or the concern about his son, that was very good, because then they're going to look at it as, all right, maybe he's not just a monstrous dad who would shoot his own kid. He still love his kid. He's still concerned with about his kid's safety. So that was a real good thing to ask that question in the beginning. So let's go on.
The thing I want to hear is status on him.
Yes, sir. And when I can get you that answer?
He's junior. I mean,
I get it. 100% get it. And what I'll do is I can tell you right before I step in this room, I didn't have one, but if you maybe in like 30 minutes or so, I'll reach out to my partner.
That's all I want to know.
I know we have bad reception in the hospital too, though, so that doesn't help.
Pacing back and forth, just praying,
Yes, sir. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened today? Or you start wherever you think it's important to start.
Well, it all happens fast. First, his dog. I mean, he was dog sitting his girlfriend dog, and I came home. The dog, he was messing with stuff. So I went to get him and put him in a cage, and he bit me. So I picked him up, and I put him outside. My son, he got, agitated about it, and so he had a few words, my lead, and then, he popped off at him. I'm like, hey, boy, you ain't gonna hurt me. I'm seeing you don't do that, and it happened so fast. He went around, he come around, I walked on, and I armed myself, and next thing I know, he was coming towards me, and it happened so fast, I mean, that's.
I know it's a lot for me to just come in here and be like, sir, can you tell me what happened tonight? So I slow
and just when I was trying to give him some credit, he just made it go down to zero in about like 1 minute. It went down to zero. I don't believe his story that much. What it also explained to me in the story that he doesn't realize is that you have a temper. You big man on campus, it's your house, right? You're the king of the house, and you rule everything. You probably did something very disrespectful or hurt that dog really bad. If your son ran up on screaming at you, you didn't just pick that dog up. You was probably grabbing that dog by his neck or choking him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did something really bad to that dog if he was coming at you aggressive in that type of way. You know what I'm saying? And then he's saying, oh, he's getting aggressive at you, and then you're trying to say, oh, you like, well, calm down, whatever, we're not doing this. I'm the senior in the house, you're not going to talk to me that way. And then you say that he's just coming at you again. And like, there's a reason why he's explaining it like this happened so fast, like a blink of an eye. He's explaining it because he's trying to seem like he blacked out in some point. At some point, he just blacked out and he doesn't necessarily know what went on. But the fact is that you had a gun. Where did the gun come from? You're literally home. Most people, when they have weapons, they put it away. They don't have it like sitting right out on a table or sitting right next to them on the side of their chair and stuff like that. Why was the gun so readily available to you if you was at home the whole entire time? Like, already, I'm not believing it. I'm not really believing it at this point. Brucey said, watch his hands as he explains. His hands are saying the exact opposite of what his mouth is saying. I agree. I'm looking at his mannerism a little bit. And like I said, even with his storytelling, the fact that it was just like, oh, everything went so fast, and and he was just disrespectful, and then he came around, it's not giving that much detail into what was happening. This is what the detective is going to find out, what the real argument was about. She wants to understand what actually led up to the son, even if he did approach you in a, like, you want to fight me or you want to pop off, let's pop off. What got to that? he's not giving any real big details about it. He's just making it seem like it was just a whirl of events that happened simultaneously. Like he can't really put a name to it. Brucey said, right, as he was saying, his hands was gripping and shaking. He hurt that dog. Yeah, he really did. He hurt that dog. I think he was choking that dog out, or he was wringing him through his, on his collar, like pulling him on his collar and lifting him up in the air, like something like that. I will lose my cool if I see somebody doing that to an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now you're doing this to not only his dog, it's not even his dog, it's his girlfriend's dog. So if something happens to the girlfriend's dog, he might lose, number one, he might lose his relationship, or number two, you might go to jail for that, right? There's something more to it, but let's hear what he has to say.
Detail as we have to go. I guess tell me a little bit about, is your son currently living at that house?
Yes.
Okay. How long has he been staying there?
All his life. He went to college, and then he went to college, and he was gone. Then he come back. He's been back home because he went to the NFL briefly, but he's been back home since September, October.
Okay, so he's been back home for over a month now.
Yeah, he been back for a minute there.
Okay.
Because when the regular season started, September, so and he was on the roster, practice roster, so he's been back, late part of September. So.
Okay. And what happened? Like his girl, you said it's his girlfriend's dog. How long has the dog been at the house?
The dog been there a couple of days.
And does the girlfriend live there, or only stay, like spends the night sometimes?
Occasionally.
Okay.
She's out of town.
Okay. So you're trying to get the dog in the cage. He bites you.
Yeah.
And I get it. I would smack the dog too, because it's a jerk action to do that. So your son got upset that you smacked the dog?
Yeah, he got upset that I smacked the dog and I put him outside, so he got upset, and
Can you tell me a little bit about, I know you said I'm senior. What was he saying to you that made you upset?
Like I said, it happened so fast. I mean, just him being, a young man, I can't recall the exact words, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, it happened so fast, and he, I call it blowing up. I mean, he got aggressive, and I'm like, no, that ain't going down. Not here. No. I'm not going to let you put your hands on me, so.
Did he actually put his hands on you, or did you feel like he was going to?
Well, actually, there was some friction. We had a little struggle, so I went this way, he went that way, and then he came back around, and, and I had to arm myself, and then he went through the foyer and came through the former living room and came through the kitchen way, and I was in the kitchen area, so, and that's.
So he walks that way towards the formal, you said you go and arm yourself. Where's your gun at?
My gun is actually, I keep it in the garage, actually.
Okay.
Self-defense is supposed to only work if you're at danger of dying. The fact that Otis had time to run to his garage and get a weapon doesn't really speak to a rushed, violent altercation. It implies that Otis Sr. was angry and he wanted to teach his son a lesson. Because, as you'll repeatedly hear, Otis takes pride in the house being his house with his rules and being a senior to his son's junior.
Exactly what I said. I pinpointed it. He has anger issues. He wants pure dominance in the house. It's his household. Whatever he does is law. Whatever he says, that's the end of it. No discussion whatsoever. He got mad that his son probably told him, why are you doing that to this dog? This is my girl dog. And why are you throwing it out like that? Like, what are you doing? The fact is that he didn't even want to talk about what his son said is very important, that now all of a sudden he doesn't know what type of words his son used to trigger him, because just his son talking back to him was enough to trigger him. It seemed like he had an issue of his son being home during the off season, that him coming back home. It seemed like he had a problem with that. He probably felt that, there is button of the heads of two men in the space and whatever not. And he felt that he had to, make sure that his dominance is still over his household, that his son doesn't rule anything, But he was really, really angry with his son. And it doesn't have anything to just do with this situation that happened today. This was bent up anger that will make you literally go to your garage to get your gun. You remember what I said? Why did he have the gun readily available to him? Because, while he told a story and he said that everything happened so fast, I would have believed that he had the gun on him, but he didn't have the gun on him. In fact, he ran to the garage to go get his weapon on his son. Like, you got to really take that into consideration, like really plan that out. He went to go get a weapon for his son. His son was was talking crap, going back and forth around the house, whatever not. And at no point your son was really threatening to you. You did try to make the detectives believe that y'all had a little like pushback or, grabbing of each other, a little wrestling or something going on. And you probably did. And probably that's the reason why your wife, his mom, got shot, right? Because she tried to break y'all up. You went back to the garage to go get the gun, and she jumped in front trying to protect her child. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Brucey said he got verbally aggressive because you were hurting his dog. Right, exactly. It didn't come out of nowhere. There is deep-rooted issues. I agree, Ms. J. I definitely agree. It's more than this situation. Sadly, many men have that complex. I'm the king of the house. What I say goes. You're in my house. It's my rules. I agree. A lot of men talk like that. A lot of men do set it up like that. And here's the thing. I don't think that that's wrong necessarily. I don't think it's a wrong thing. But I think that when you live with anyone, you're pretty much signing up to compromise. This is what people have to understand. When you're living with anyone, there is some level of compromise there. Yes, you can say, hey, listen, we're going to do things this type of way, whatever not, but you do usually do a give and take when you're living with anyone. And this is even with people like, your children, your spouse. That's just the name of the game. You cannot rule your household with an iron fist. It doesn't work. You're going to always clash with someone there who's outspoken and who's not going to just let you say or do anything, or who's going to, defend themselves. And here's the thing. If this is your son and he has some of your personality traits, you're literally looking at your own mirror per se, right? But let's go on. This is terrible that he actually went to the garage to go get a weapon on his son.
Which is another way of saying I like to be in total control with no one questioning me.
When I come back in, and he comes through and through the kitchen area, and there's a little gate that he come in, so,
What's going on at that moment?
He charged me.
Okay, and what happens then when he charges you?
I tell him to stop, and
is he actually in the kitchen or on the other side of that baby gate thing?
he's coming over. He's already past the gate. He's
in the kitchen.
He's well beyond that.
Okay. And so at that point, do you shoot at him?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many times?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not. If you don't know something, I get it. So what happens then?
I put it down and I go, hollering up. So we go outside. He's down. I start running first aid. I had a mat. So I, try to hold compressions on him, and start talking to him, and I turned him to the side because I heard he was, having trouble breathing. So I opened his airway with my finger, and turned him to the side so he can breathe, stay with me, Junior, and
nope.
And held compressions on him until first aid got there.
Okay.
First of all, you're lying because you did not render any aid to your son. You would have blood on you. You have blood on your hands, but you don't really, it doesn't really seem like you were trying to render any aid to him. And then I'm still not understanding what made you pull the trigger on your son. You said that he was coming after you or going towards you. You still haven't said that he had a knife or anything or bat. You haven't said anything. You just said that he was coming towards you and you kept on telling him to stop, and then you ended up shooting him. And then on top of that, you don't even know how many times you shot him. Like, and I can't get over the fact that this is your son. This is your son. This is your blood, and you literally was treating him and like he's a stranger. Like, see, he's some strange guy out in the street. Like, this is weird. Like, this whole thing that he's doing is weird. There's a lot of lying going on. He's really trying to make it seem to the detectives that, he's remorseful. And I'm not trying to say that he's not remorseful. But the thing about it is you have an anger issue and you have a control issue, and you went too far. You went too far. In the moment, you intended to shoot your son. That's what the detectives is trying to figure out, or trying to get you to admit to them that within that moment you was angry enough that you wanted to harm your son. It wasn't self-defense. You wanted to harm your son because clearly going to the garage, going to get the weapon, going back in I guess in the area that he was at, knowing that the tensions are still high after y'all was arguing with each other or confronting each other about what happened with the dog. Yeah, you had a lot of anger against your son. We don't know whether or not if it's because your son came back home. We don't know if because, your son was starting to get successful, or he wasn't listening to you when it came down to his career choices, or how you wanted him to conduct himself in the NFL. We don't know, right? That's all speculation. But clearly you was angry about your son, with your son, more than this situation. It has really nothing to do with the dog. Joanne said, in fairness, the son was a literal football player. Right, exactly. Brucey said, Dad looked like he could hold his own. Yeah, exactly. If he wanted to actually have a fight with him, Dad looked like he's in decent shape for an older man. He looks like he's in decent shape. That would have had been a good fair battle and everything like that. But for you to go get a weapon,
Responders got there. I stayed there the whole time. I mean, they actually, when they got there, they took over and then they cuffed me. Like, I was to that point. I didn't try to like conceal anything. I'm like, hey, this my son. I want this to happen.
Right.
You be sitting here. This is like I'm pinching myself, hoping that this ain't true. I'm like, but I didn't like mean for this to happen, and nor did I just let him lay there. No, there was no means by that. I mean,
I understand. I saw that there was like the bath towels and stuff are out there. So I understand you were trying to help him. Okay. When he charged at you, were you guys exchanging words?
yes, of course.
What was being said? Do you remember?
I don't recall the word, but it wasn't. Let's say it wasn't like, hello, how you doing?
No, exactly. I get that.
So it was a confrontational word exchange. Exact words, I can't recall what was being said, but the intent was not I'm finna check your hand type situation. So and I'm too old to be down on the floor fighting. So I mean, and if I could do it all over again, maybe I'd take a black eye, but
if he could do it all over again, he might, keyword, might take a black eye over shooting his son several times in the chest. It's truly incredible that this man's ego can even fit in this interrogation room. It's worth noting that Otis Jr. had absolutely no violence on his record. According to his neighbors and those who knew the family, Otis Jr. respected his father to a high degree, and the two seemed to be incredibly close. But as you'll soon learn, in the comfort of their own home, that closeness was forged out of fear.
I know, like, you obviously shoot and your son's shot. Do you remember what happens with?
No. She was like, what you just did? I'm like, and she was like, where did he go? I'm like, I don't know. Because he jumped over the gate and he ran and because there's another gate. There's a small gate in the kitchen, then there's a little white gate in the foyer. I don't recall, I'll be honest with you. I didn't put my hands on her, but I know she probably did, where did he go? Where did he go? I'm like, so, I said, I don't know when he went outside. So she opened the door, like, she started hollering, and I was like, what? So I come out, she's like, he's down. I'm like, so I go out, got the towels, and we start, while she was on the phone, I was doing what I could do to try, keep first aid to him as much as I could do.
One thing Otis Sr. is really good at, other than playing the victim, is leaving out details. Because if you recall, his wife wasn't just a bystander, she was a victim. And as eager as Otis Sr. is to paint his son as the problem, the reality is there was only one person in that home that people were scared of.
Yeah, he's definitely is portraying himself as this victim. The fact that you didn't shoot your son once, you shot your son almost 3 times. Then you said that your son got out of the house and ran. You didn't go out and chase him. You didn't say, wait, I'm so sorry, son. I didn't mean to do that. Come back. The mom, like, what's going on? What's going on? What you doing? But the funny thing is, like the video essay said, you didn't mention that she got hit. But she got shot too. So how did she get shot? Because she was probably there and she tried to stop you and you didn't care if you was going to shoot through her to shoot him because you had to make it known that my way is the highway. I brought you in this world and I will take you out. I mean, I know a lot of people heard that slogan from their parents before. He took it in the literally. He took it literally, all right? And it's bad because he did definitely do this out of jealousy. That's what I'm seeing. It's seeing that he was really jealous of his son. He was jealous about what he was about to become. And he was upset, like, look at this guy. He's about to be all good and everything like that. But, he's not really that shit because he had to literally come back home during off season. It's sad, man. This is really sad, man. I don't know, man. This is really, really sad.
And it was him, for good reason.
Because she was shot twice.
She must have got in the way. I mean, I did not recall shooting her.
She got in the way of your son?
She must have, because I don't recall her. I mean, because when it happened so fast. But as far as me shooting her, no. I do not recall it unless she got, she must have. Like I said, it happened. I do not recall intentionally shooting her. So, no. Absolutely not.
Is it possible you were just so mad about what was going on that because she is shot twice and I'm not gonna, she's fine. I can tell you that. I did have an opportunity to see her.
Yeah, I'd like to go. It happened so fast. Because I know that, we had, me and the boy had bumped head and, he come back around, so, and I don't even remember her getting in the way, but
because I know a minute ago you said she was like, oh my God, what did you do? So that would indicate she's not in the way. That would indicate she wasn't quite there.
Right, exactly.
Like I said, I don't recall her being, me shooting her. I definitely wasn't intentional. If she got in the way, I'm telling you now, I don't, no.
And when you go out to the garage is there a reason why you go in the garage to get your gun to bring it back in?
Because when I went to the garage, I had already told him, no.
Because it seems like you guys separate, because I know the layout of your house does this little U effect.
It does, but when I come back in the house, he comes over the little gate And that's when everything pretty much goes south.
Like, that's why I'm trying to figure out, like, when you go into the garage, where's your gun kept in the garage?
It's kept right there on top of the freezer.
On top of the freezer. Yeah. Is it inside of anything, or is it just out there plain?
And it's in a little box.
Okay, and it's the little revolver?
Yeah.
Silver and black, yeah. I believe it was.
Yeah.
Do you keep that thing fully loaded?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that your gun?
I got that gun from my father-in-law about 20 years ago.
Okay, so it's been around for a while.
Yeah. Kind of like an heirloom.
Okay. I'm not no ballistics expert, but the way the wounds are, it does appear to be at least twice. She's fine. She's talking. So you don't recall any confrontation after your son was shot between?
No, because everything happened, and we went outside. You know, she was like, "What?" You know, and
did you? And I think you said this already. I just want to make sure you went and put the gun inside the bedroom, or did she?
Happy holidays to you.
I laid it on. I believe I laid it on the table, honestly, because when she started hollering about him on the ground, I want to say I laid it on the table.
The kitchen table?
Yeah.
Okay, so you laid it on something.
Yeah.
And did you?
So I just picked up something. So he has no recollection of his wife getting in front of him or trying to prevent him shooting the son. He said that him and the wife went out there. She went out chasing after them, I guess, after hearing gunshots. And then she said he's on the ground. And then he went running out there with towels. So do that mean to tell me that you shot your wife twice after shooting your son? Was it like, oh, I just need to go ahead and take out the whole family at this point? Because now if you don't even remember if she was in the way or getting in the way or she was trying to prevent anything, but the detective just confirmed that she was shot twice. Now we have to know whether or not did you try to kill her after shooting your son? And if he did, that's even more despicable if you really think about it. It's even more despicable if you really, really think about it. Yes, thank you so much, Joanne. I truly appreciate you. Go ahead and hit the like buttons up for me, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Miss J said, right. He said he don't remember where the wife, right. It's like, Brucey said selective amnesia. Yeah, it seems so. Let's go on.
Or call a neighbor or anything. Did you go to a neighbor's house?
I was trying to call, but by then she already called, and I don't know what happened. My phone was, I think one of the police got it down, but I was attempting to call, but she had already got him on the phone. So, and while she was on the phone, I was ministering first aid. So.
Okay.
There's a pesky detail that Otis Sr. is forgetting here. While his son isn't conscious to tell his side of the story, his wife is happy to tell police everything. And her story? Well, let's just say it's a far, far match from what Otis Sr. is trying to claim.
I said, are you serious? So I had that Swiffer jet mop and I started hitting him with it. And then he turned around and he shot me.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I could defend myself against a Swiffer wet jet mop without having to use a gun.
How's your relationship in general?
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean necessarily tonight. I mean like in general. What about you and your son?
Shit, I love him.
Oh, no, there's no doubt I don't think that you don't love your son. I'm just talking about, like, you guys get along? Did you guys bicker?
No.
Father-son bickering, I get. I mean, like, is there physical abuse, verbal abuse?
No. I coached my son since he was 3 years old. We was fortunate enough that he went full scholarship to college.
Okay.
Short stay in the NFL, which I think he could still be there, but, he got a little discouraged. So he didn't want to continue the process. So, but, I mean, there wasn't nothing I wouldn't do for this. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Have you guys ever had any physical altercations in the past?
No.
So tonight.
There's nothing that he would do for his son. Sir, you shot your son to death. There's nothing that you wouldn't do to your son, okay? You already did the most ultimate thing that you did. And you was in full state and conscious thought to go into your garage to go get your weapon and take it out of his little box that was on top of the refrigerator, the deep freezer that was in the garage, to go back into the house to shoot your son. It's not like you was fighting for your life. Your son was on top of you, and it just so happened that your gun was still in your pocket, or you didn't put your gun was close to you, and then you ended up shooting him. That's not what happened. Your son never touched you. You had a little argument. Y'all was going back and forth, and then you went deliberately into the garage, which is a whole different other section of the house. Went and got your weapon and came back into the section where your son was to do that. And then you even heard it from his own wife's mouth. He said that she started hitting him, so that means that she was like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, when he shot, she's like, what are you doing, hitting him and all the stuff like that? What are you doing? And he shot at her. That is crazy. Brucey said, especially against your mate, like that mop was breaking his bones and causing bodily injury. Come on, dude, it's a mop, right? The whole matter of the fact is that there was no reason why you should have gotten the gun. We understand that domestic violence happened. We understand that people in a house get into arguments, especially sometimes it can get violent, physically, physical between parents, mates, siblings, you name it. We understand that those things happen. That I'm not saying that those things should happen, but we understand that those things do happen. There was no reason for you to turn a squabble or a verbal confrontation into a gunfight. And everybody else was not prepared for this gunfight except you. And you're trying to make it seem like everything was so as quick and as fast, the way how you're telling the story, you're making it seem like everything was split second, and it wasn't. It wasn't split second. You doing what you did to the dog was not split second. You going back and forth with your son was not split second. You making your entrance into the garage to get your gun was not split second. You coming back into the house because you had to show your dominance, right? You ain't no punk. Ain't nobody gonna tell you what to do or whatever not in your house. Wasn't a split second. Even you trying to now go render aid for your son wasn't a split second, because literally you admitted that your wife had to tell you, or somebody else had to tell you, that just when your son ran out the house, he hit the ground. So again, you trying to say that everything was a split second and it happened so fast, but it didn't. There were so much steps that happened that all this could have been avoided, and you decided not to. You decided to hurt your son, and it makes perfect sense why the detective is asking about, your relationship. What was your relationship dynamic? And from what he was telling me, you didn't really necessarily do anything for your son. You was just more of like a coach, and you was coaching, and you bred this football life into your son. You wanted him to be a football player. You seen that he was good at sports. You seen that he was good at football, and you was like his coach, or you was like his mentor through that. You didn't really explain anything about what you did was fatherly love outside of his career being in the NFL. Did everybody else peep that too? He led right back to the career. He didn't say anything else. He didn't say, oh, when he was in school, we would go play basketball, we would go swimming and stuff like that. You didn't mention anything else that you did as a father for him outside of building his NFL career. This is sad. This is really, really, really sad. Hi, Mark. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by with us on this good Sunday. Happy holidays to you, sir, and Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Thank you so much. And Turkey, where's my turkey at? Oh, here he is. Hi, Turkey. How you doing? Happy holidays to you, sir. Happy holidays. Shout out to you. Happy Sunday. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Don't worry about the notification, Turkey. Like sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. It is what it is. Yes, please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Please, let's get these likes up for me. I truly appreciate all of you. Truly appreciate you all. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and see what else is going to be said.
It was the first night that things went to head.
First time. He's never, talked back or looked at me wrong. I mean, so when he did that, I'm like, I was kind of like taken. I'm like, what? Because he wasn't raised that way. And I know he's a young man now, but I can't explain it. I mean,
what exactly did he say that made you so upset, though? Do you remember? Like, was there a specific phrase, or did he disrespect you, or like?
It obviously was disrespect, but for as a word, ma'am, I can't. Everything's in a fog right now, but it was, it was disappointing, to just say the least, for him, to take that tone and, to the point where he wants to, get physical.
And when you say get physical, like what do you mean? If you could explain it to me.
Fight.
So he wanted to get in a fist fight, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he actually swing at you tonight?
Like I said, we had
a pushing match.
We did have that there, got between us and she started cleaning because there was some blood on the wall from the dog, so she started cleaning up.
Yeah, see, I don't believe his story at all, because she's asking him specifically, did he take a swing at you? He can't say that because he knows his son never swung at him. His son would never hit him. And the fact that he admitted that his son had never took that tone or never, stood up to him per se. This is what he's saying without saying it. His son never stood up to him, right? His son was he held him in such high regard, and the way how he raised him in the house, he would never stick up for himself. Whatever dad said, it is what it is. I'm going to do it. It is what it is. And he made that known to the detective that that's how he ran his house. So the fact is that the son didn't have to say anything disrespectful to get you to this level. The fact that he even challenged you on anything or told you, hey, don't do that to the dog, or what are you doing to the dog? You perceive that as him being defiant. That was enough to trigger you. Even just standing up for yourself is enough to trigger you, because that's how you run your house. No one can stand up to you. There is no conversation. There is no, hey, I think that you're disrespecting me, or you're not treating me like I'm an adult and I can control my life. That conversation never happens with this guy. This guy is able to do everything that he wants. And then on top of that, Brucey, I'm glad that you pointed that out. He said that there was blood on the wall for the dog, but you told the detective earlier that all you did was just pick the dog up. So how did blood on the wall from the dog, how did that get there, sir? What did you do to the dog that now the blood's dog is on the wall? You see what I'm saying? And he doesn't understand how much he gave up so much. So you was really hurting that dog. You almost killed that dog. Enough to that dog to be bleeding that his blood was on the wall. That's probably the reason why the wife had the whipper swiper to try to clean up the blood on the floor and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, this dude, nah.
So I go out and I come back, and he come around, and then, like I said, I don't remember she got in the way or not, but he comes through the kitchen. I mean, she was cleaning up, and then I don't know.
At what part, do you remember the recliner getting knocked over? Or you flipping the recliner, is my understanding?
Time to time,
do you remember doing that?
I may have flipped it.
So he was just keeping a dog there.
You say I flipped it? I mean,
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I can't say you did anything.
Yeah.
I just, Do you remember getting upset and flipping it when you were angry?
I don't recall that.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Once again, Denise provided police with a much more reliable retelling of events. According to her, Otis Sr. was bit by the dog as he tried to shove the dog in a kennel. This infuriated him. When his wife tried to calm him down, he began screaming at her and even flipped a recliner as he raged. In response, Otis Jr. ran downstairs to try and stop his mother from getting hurt by his father. And that's when all hell broke loose. All because a son was trying to protect his mom from a man turned into a monster over something as simple as a bite from a small dog.
Your son goes this way, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
What made you go to the garage to get the gun, though? Like, I mean, at this.
So there we go. That makes perfect sense now. It makes even more sense. You unalived your son because he was trying to protect his mom. That means that you have a history of abusing his mom or cursing out his mom, verbally abusing his mom, and he's finally he's an older man now, right? He finally got muscles, you know, his nut sex finally dropped, you know what I'm saying? He finally got bass in his throat, and he wasn't allowing you to hurt his mom while he's under the house. And like I said, it wouldn't have mattered what that boy have done. The fact that he challenged him and he looked at him, he didn't look at him as his son in that state. He looked at him as another man challenging his authority and what he do with his wife. That's how he looked at his son. Oh my God. Oh my God. But he pew-pewed the mother after the fact. Right. Oh, the son was defending. Yeah, the son was defending his mom. He said the dog messed in the house. He grabbed the dog and the dog bit him. He then beat the dog and then the son stepped in. That's what he said. He said it was literally about the dog, but it wasn't about the dog. I think that the mom was like, "What are you doing with the dog?" And she was cleaning up the wall that had dog blood on it and all the stuff like that. Then he got in an argument with the mom because she didn't agree what he did, started getting in her face, being confrontational. He's upstairs. He hears what's going on. He's not going to let you hurt his mom while he's in the house. And now we got this situation. Yes, Miss J, he shot her twice. The son put up with him hurting and being abusive to his mom, and the son had enough. Yeah, that's exactly what it seemed what happened.
Point you guys had some shoving matches, but now you're separated. Why not go in your bedroom? Like, what made you go to the garage to arm yourself?
Even if I went in the bedroom, he went around to come around, you know, come and confront me. I'm over here, so he come around so he can confront me. That's pretty much how it went down.
I mean, I know the way your house is, it's like bedroom, garage, that little small hallway. Is there a reason why what made you feel like you had to go get the gun versus just going in your bedroom, locking the door and calling the police? Or locking the door and separating yourselves? Like, what made you feel like you had to arm yourself?
Well, I'm defending myself. I'm in my house. I mean, I'm going to go in the bedroom and, truth is, there's guns in there. I mean, so.
I get there's guns in there, but just saying I defended myself, you know what I mean? That's an open blanket statement. He's over here. Can you explain a little bit about the charging? When you say he charges you, what is he? Can you explain that?
He jumped.
Even if you want to describe it for me.
He jumped over the gate. You know, maybe I'm talking too much right now, but he jumps over the gate and it may sound like it's a big distance, but it's not. I mean,
no, I've been in there. It's not that big.
I mean, when I'm standing in the kitchen, you come over that gate. I mean, the reaction time is like, I mean,
It's so crazy how he keeps on doing a very good job going over the fact that you was putting your hands on his mom. That whole scruffle that he said was happening amongst them, the pushing back and forth, is because he was trying to get you off his mom. Like, he's doing everything but telling that big fact. And he probably thought that that's another reason why he probably tried to shoot the mom and kill the mom afterwards, because he didn't want the mom to tell the real reason why he shot his son. And you made this whole story about you have to defend yourself and that your son went in such a crazy rage because of what you did with the dog. Your son wasn't even there. Your son was upstairs. It was the mom who was seeing how you was treating the dog. And then you wanted to harm her as well. Oh, this guy hurt my head. Brewster said, just admit you're a wife-beater coward and couldn't take getting your ass beat by a man who could fight back. Yes. The dog bit him because he has a history of being violent towards the dog. I agree, Larky. I definitely agree that probably wasn't the first time that he hurt that dog in that way. That probably was not the first time. It was just probably this is the first time that dog was dog blood. He probably been smacking and beating up on that dog the whole entire time that he was there. Miss J said, I bet you there is a past history of the father has a record. There could be a possibility because he definitely has anger issues. There's no doubt about it. Let's go on.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't undo it. I mean, but and
I'm just trying to understand when he charges you, what made you feel like you had to shoot him? Because at this point, you guys had already been in a shoving match and separated. But now you guys are coming back together, and at this point, you've armed yourself.
If you have a gun in your hand and somebody jump over the gate and come towards you, I mean.
Okay.
Sir, what the hell are you talking about? About if you had a gun in your hand and somebody jumped over towards the gate. That's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. You're literally sitting there lying. She said that there is a little walkway between going to your bedroom that's on the first floor and the garage that's I guess probably near the kitchen, right? The little back door entrance. Instead of you going, if he was that aggressive towards you and you was fearing for your life, you saw red in his eyes and he wanted your blood and wanted your neck, why wouldn't you go run into your room? You said that your room had just as much weapons than the garage did. Why did you specifically go into the garage? And then on top of that, why you didn't stay in the garage? It would have made sense if you would have stood in the garage and then we would have heard that the son bust into the garage. But that's not even what happened. The son was still in the house. You went into the garage and you came back to your son. At one point, y'all separated from the quote-unquote squabble that you had earlier. You went back to initiate it with a gun. And he's not understanding that, or he's trying to pretend that he doesn't understand it because, his story is full of a whole bunch of holes. He's definitely only telling half truth. Yes, he is. His half of the truth. Then there's the other side of truth, and in the middle of those truths is the real truth. I agree. Because you notice how he's still trying to leave out the mom. He's leaving out the whole mom situation about what happened with the mom. Let's go on.
I know it's hard to talk about. I get that. It's not like we're just talking about some stranger that broke into the house. I understand. It's just, it's my job to understand. And I don't want to ever put words in anyone's mouth. Do you, when after the first, like you said, I know you said you don't know how many times you shot at him, and I get that. I'm not going to ask you to ever try to guess that. You have no recollection of altercation?
I don't. I really don't.
And then shooting at her?
I don't. I honestly don't.
And I mean, I know adrenaline's pumping, because obviously adrenaline was pumping for her too.
So that's what you telling me that she was shot. I'm like,
What made your son so angry tonight? I mean, I know you snapped his dog and put him outside, but is that really what made him so angry?
Well,
I mean, it's a dog.
Well, part of it, like I said, his frustration with the NFL, the league, he got released, and he, obviously he's a very talented young man. He felt some sort of way about it because the less talented guys able to keep their job.
So this is what I call, you, my dear friends of the algorithm, this is what I call projection. His son wasn't mad about leaving the league because you told the detective earlier that he decided that he didn't really want to do that. You was adamant about him staying in the league because you thought that he was talented, and all the work that you've been doing for him to get in the league since he was 6 years old. You was upset that he left because you was thinking about all the money and all the fame and popularity you would had if your son stayed in the NFL. You were mad that he came back home thinking that he can, start his life or find something else to do than be a football player. You was upset about that because you felt that your chance of having your son in the NFL was over. You're projecting and you're trying to say that this is how your son felt. But you gave up earlier that he wanted to leave. That's why he came back. He wanted to leave. He didn't feel like he did it. He tried it. He didn't think that that's what he really wanted to do with the rest of his life. And you were upset about that. So this whole you and your son had a great relationship and all this stuff. No, you and your son had a great coach to student relationship when it came down to his career. Outside of that, it doesn't seem like you and your son had any other relationship outside of him becoming a football star. That's what it's showing. You wasn't being a dad's dad. You wasn't going out, taking your son fishing and stuff. Doing other things and showing him other things, working on a car together and stuff like that. No, you've been conditioning this boy from 6 years old to be a football star and to join the NFL. And right now you're projecting because that's how you truly feel about him leaving the NFL.
So he kind of felt some sort of way about it, and his granddaddy just passed.
Okay. When was that? I'm sorry to hear that, by the way.
Yeah, it's October 2nd.
Okay.
And that kind of like this turned his whole family.
Okay.
And he just kind of like, just been, just in a slum since that, so was everyone else. But his passion for football, stuff like that, he just, I can't explain it, but I know that got something to do with his, his demeanor and his, just.
Reportedly, despite being cut from the LA Rams, Otis Jr. wasn't spiraling and picking fights like his dad is trying to claim here. He had a girlfriend he loved, was starting to look at jobs in the area, and was incredibly close to his mom and several friends. Otis never displayed any signs of extreme anger or rage. On the contrary, he was a gentle, funny, kind man. Yet his father is trying to paint him as something entirely different for his own gain.
Well, I know you said tonight was the first night he actually you guys ever had a moment like this. So was it just the dog or was there more work?
You see, what did I tell you? I did not tell you it was him. Didn't I tell you it was projection? Because didn't I tell you that the son was done with football? He realized that, I like football, but it's not fun anymore. I don't want to do this as a career anymore. I have a girl. I don't want to be away from her. I want to start creating my own family. And he was looking for other jobs and other things that he wanted to do. His father was angry that he didn't want to be a football player. He was angry that he left the NFL. He figured all that time and energy and me conditioning you to be a contender in the NFL, and you want to throw it all away because you want to be with that girl. And now here's the thing too. Now I'm starting to believe that the attack on the dog was intentional. I think that he was manhandling that girl's dog because he was mad, thinking that that girl is the reason why he doesn't want to be in the league anymore. She's a distraction. She's taking him away from doing what he want to do. And then you was like, you know what? I can't touch that girl. But I can touch her dog. And since her dog is in my house, let me go ahead and manhandle or rough up that dog. Like, you see how everything starts to play out? You let people speak and they tell on themselves. Just let them speak. And they'll start to really tell what's going on. You can start putting the clues together. Like, this is crazy. Listen. Brucey said football was the dad's dream, not his. He wanted his own life. He did. And he didn't want to be under his father's thumb either. Oh, wow. All the son wanted was to live a normal life. Yes, he only wanted to live a normal life. That's crazy. The father took out on the dog, is attached to the girlfriend. Yep. Like I said, definitely like I said. But why go after the wife? He went after the wife because he was harming the wife all the time as it is anyway. The wife was probably telling him, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing that to that dog for? And all the stuff like that. And it's like, who you talking to? You think you could disrespect me in my house? Blah, blah, blah. Truly, I wouldn't say this. How can I put this? I'm not really sure if it's necessarily first-degree murder. I mean, they could push that in there, first-degree murder, because he intentionally went to the garage to get the gun to shoot the wife and his son. So there is that claim of first degree there. However, if you're just looking at it from the inside and out, this would definitely be like second-degree murder, especially if it was a squabble that led to this situation, right? Because I don't say, the only reason why I say there is a hint of first degree, but it would probably be second degree. And the reason why I state that is because if he only wanted his son to be this NFL football player and he wanted him to be successful in that, if this is his meal ticket, why would he take his meal ticket out of the game, right? Forever, right? You wouldn't unalive your meal ticket because you're not going to be able to join the league. You're too old. You're out of shape. I mean, even though he's in good shape for his age, you're not conditioned as an athlete. So you're not going into the NFL. So if this is your meal ticket, you will want your meal ticket to do what you want them to do. You wouldn't take them out. So I don't think that he was like, let me start hurting the dog and let me start hitting his mother so I can set up a situation where I can go get my gun to shoot him. I don't think that's what happened. They didn't play out that way. Let's see. Brucey said the mom supported her son's decision and it pissed the dad off. That could be a possibility too. Lord ADS says, as a father, I can understand why he would feel that way, but harm is beyond inexcusable. I agree. Hey, how you doing, Kim West? How you doing? Happy holidays to you, dear. Happy holidays. Yeah, this is so sad. Oh my God. The son was 18. He was 18 years old. Let's go on.
Words exchange leading up to this?
There was some words about that dog, but like I said, he had never been disrespectful towards me. Any adult that I'm aware of, let alone me. I mean,
okay.
So I don't know.
Is there anything you can think of right this minute?
I just can't. For him,
That's true. In a lot of situations,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
have to take a long time for it to be
But I
frustrating.
know a major part of it is the fact
Thought
that,
out plan.
his grandfather, passed, and it was around the same time that he got released from the team. So, and then he started a little job, and that didn't work out. So
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do real quick is it's been right around 30 minutes. Let me try to go see if I can get an update. Okay. And then I'll step back in here. I don't want to keep you waiting forever. So do you need anything right now? More water while you waited for a few minutes? Cause I'm going to have to try to get a hold of him. He might have to step out and talk to me.
yeah, I can take a little water.
Okay.
So I can take it to the restroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me just a second. I'll grab it. Oh, thank you.
Soon after the police leave, they return with some tragic news. News that changes Otis Sr.'s demeanor entirely.
Let's see. Hey, Luna, how are you? Good to see you. Happy holidays. Don't worry about being late. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. I'm glad that you came back and you found us. Thank you for coming back. Yeah, this man shot his son. He shot his son. And you seen how he was talking because he thinks that his son is still alive. In his head, he just think that he hurt his son. He just, but he's just like, yeah, I had to do what I had to do. I ain't gonna let nobody put their hands on me. He's talking like the way how he talks about his son is not like he's talking about his son. He's talking about the situation like it was some guy on the street that you got in an argument with, and it's like, I'm not gonna let you punk me. That's how he sounds. He's not even really sounding like, that this situation that we're talking about is about your immediate family, your blood. You're literally your son, the son that that you raised and everything like that. And then he strategically is leaving out that you was harming the wife and his mother, and that's why he went down there to defend his mother because you was hurting his mom. Oh, this is just so sad. Hit the like button, everyone. I truly appreciate you. Let's go on.
Hi, sir. Sorry, my other partner got tied. So this is my other partner, Detective McIntosh. Sorry. It took a little bit. We were trying to get an official update, and unfortunately, sir, there's really no easy way for me to say this, but your son did not survive his injuries tonight. Thank you. I know right now you don't want me sitting in front of you, so I'm gonna give you some privacy, okay? I'm gonna be out here, okay, sir?
Normally I would take this type of performance as, oh my God, this person is really suffering and hurting. But the simple fact is that we have watched you for almost 45 minutes, really didn't have no concern about how you decided to quote unquote hurt your son. And then now that you hear that he died, you're giving this whole dramatic crying like what? Like you're now telling me it just sat in that your son is not coming back after you shooting him, and then you don't even know how many times you shot. Like, sir, what the fuck? Excuse my French. Sorry, Joanne. Sorry, Miss Joanne. I love you. Sorry. But What the fuck do you really think that was going to happen if you shot your son 3 times? What do you think was going to happen? Why are you crying now that you see that he's died? Do you think that it's a movie or something? Is your son made out of bulletproof? Why would you think that? Why are you crying now hysterically? Like, you should have known that it would be a high chance that your son might not survive being shot if that was the whole reason why you went to go get your gun anyway, because you wasn't going to let no one buck up on you, right? And he kept on, quote unquote, charging you, right? And he kept on coming at you in a threatening manner, right? This is what you told the detectives. So you said that you did everything that you needed to do. What is all this crying hysterical now? You should have known what you was doing if you was going to shoot your son. Like, this is crazy. This is so crazy. Now he want to cry. I'm not moved. I'm not moved either. What did he think was going to happen? 3 shots, send a mass. What would the result be? Exactly, Brucey. Exactly. He's crying for himself, not his child or the child's mom. Yeah, he's not. He's only crying for himself. He's crying for himself because you're not gonna get out of a murder charge. No concern whatsoever. Hi, Tamara. How you doing? Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you if you celebrate. She said, wow, that's sad what he has done. It is. It's really sad. Really, really, really sad. Oh, yeah, he was definitely jealous of his son, Kim West. He was, definitely. A video game, he's just going to respawn to another area to play again. Psst, like, seriously. Let's go on. Let's see all the semantics.
No, wait, no! You're strong.
Otis Sr. is sobbing and pacing in a prison of his own making. Though he repeatedly claims that he was in danger, his wife, the only survivor of this unnecessary violence, knew that the only danger was her husband. Her son was simply doing what he had always done for her, protecting her. Otis Sr. continues to cry, pace, sob, and hyperventilate for several more minutes before finally, police return to let him know his fate.
Mr. Otis, this is Detective Sellers. I'm here to tell you you're being charged with murder. He's here to photograph your hands, your clothing, your shorts. Then we're going to ask you to change into jail uniform, and he's going to take your clothing. And that's what's going on, all right? And he's just going to give you some directions.
Yeah.
Follow up.
All right, sir. Just like you said, we'll take some photographs. If you would, I stand up here on the wall, against the wall with your back to it, please. Yes, sir. Very good. Let's take a overall of you here.
Initially, Otis Anderson Sr. pleaded not guilty to a second-degree murder charge for the death of his son and a second-degree attempted murder charge for shooting his wife twice. Ultimately, however, he managed to negotiate a plea deal where he pleaded guilty to a manslaughter charge and an attempted manslaughter charge. In total, for killing his son and nearly killing his wife, he was sentenced to just 12 years in prison, with 2 years suspended for time served. He will be released in 2033. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases.
Prayers to that young man whose life was cut down because you had a jealous father who wanted to use you or live vicariously through you, that he takes your life because he can't control his anger and he can't control that he's a has-been, that, you know, you made mistakes in your life that couldn't get you to that point. Like, that's so sad. But to just give him 12 years, I'm not feeling too good about that. I'm really not. Like, he literally tried to kill his wife and he killed his son. Like I said, it was going to be second degree murder because of the fact that that wasn't on his mind. He wasn't plotting throughout the whole day to do this. This is really sad. There's so much I want to say about it, but I'm trying to keep my mouth clean, right? See, no potty mouth, Miss Joanne, and I'm not trying to do the potty mouth that much, but yeah, it's really sad. I felt so bad for that boy. That young man did what he was supposed to do. You're supposed to protect your mom. You know what I'm saying? And this man just had to have the last say, regardless. You know, he has to have the last say, regardless. And I just think that they did a disservice by giving him only 12 years. To me, he should have got at least 20. He should have got at least 20 for both, attempted murder and actually unaliving his son. His son wasn't a threat to him. And then he left out the fact that the only reason why his son even went after him is because you was harming his mom. This is really sad. Really, 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 really sad. Miss Joanne said, "Don't tell me she went back to him." No, I hope not. He's not getting out until 2035. So it's 2025. So he got like 10 more years right now. Perk Alcoholic, how you doing? Happy holidays to you. He said, that sucks. I agree. Sweetheart said, wow. Yeah. What happened to the wife? I mean, apparently I think that wife is just, she's just trying to live life, with the situation that her own husband tried to take her life and took her son's life. That's a real serious trauma. You know what I'm saying? I don't think life will ever be the same for that lady. 12 years is outrageous. I agree. Bama said, where do you get our sour cases? So many different platforms. So many different platforms. Corinne said he's going to be haunted. He should be haunted. I hope they deal with him in the jail cell. That's what I hope. Definitely not enough. It wasn't, Luna. It definitely wasn't. That one was so sad, guys. I'm sorry. That kind of sucked my energy a little bit because I just don't like the fact that, you took that boy's life. He had a whole life going for him, whether if it was going back to being an NFL player or him getting, being in tech or becoming an engineer. You took that away from this young man, and he made the sacrifice for protecting his mom. I mean, you know how much that probably hurt the mom. Do you know how much that the mom probably feel guilty? You know what I'm saying? Like, if she loved her son the way I'm sure that she did love her son, she probably would have been like, maybe I should have just let him just take me out if that would have kept my son being alive. But the whole point is that man, he was just a control freak. He anger management issues, jealousy beyond jealousy of not doing the things that he wanted to do. And he thought that his son was his meal ticket. This is sad. All right, good folks. I have one more case for you. One more case. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Truly appreciate it. It helps the channel. Or you can hit the down button. Still helps the channel. Nonetheless, it'll help me stay in the algorithm. Please share this out to anyone who's interested in reviewing these type of cases. If you have any case that you want me to review, go ahead and put it in the comment section at the end of the live stream. I heart and I'll look at all my comments. So I do appreciate them when they do come. Okay. So the next case I have for you is, well, it's actually an interrogation, a full-on interrogation case, all right? This is something that happened back in 2019, and it has to do with a police detective. So this is an interrogation of a police detective back in 2019, and I thought it was very interesting. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Let me go ahead and pull up my screen, and we can get into it. And here we go.
This is Oklahoma police detective Michael Neely. For over a decade, Michael would interrogate suspects as they sat in the same seat that he is sitting in now. Just the day before, Michael and his chief of police, Lucky Miller, had gone on a trip together to attend a law enforcement conference in Florida. While they stayed at a hotel, the staff would receive multiple noise complaints from the room that both officers shared. Security would enter the room and find Michael sitting on top of his deceased police chief.
How you doing, Mike?
Hello.
I'm Investigator Martinez. I think you've already met Investigator Tatum. Here's my card, sir. Mike, before we begin, advise you of your rights, all right?
Yeah.
So tell me, Mike, you guys flew out of Tulsa?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, okay. Into Pensacola?
Yep.
Was it a direct flight?
No.
All right. Where'd you guys stop?
Houston.
Was it a long layover or just a...
Short, pretty short.
So from Houston to Pensacola?
Yep.
What time did you guys get in?
I don't even remember. Afternoon sometime.
Did you guys get to run a car?
Yes.
Okay. Enterprise or?
I think it was Enterprise.
Okay. All right, and then from there?
We got to the hotel.
I know, right?
That's it.
You got to the hotel. Did you guys make any stops anywhere? Or?
Nope.
After checking into the hotel, both men began drinking and watching a football game in the hotel's restaurant. They started with beer, but then quickly moved to vodka. Both men were extremely intoxicated by the time they made it back to their room.
Any problems or anything going on at crowd? Just normal dinner or what?
Normal.
Any drinks there or just dining with?
A couple beers.
And I guess from where Krabs is to the hotel, just walked.
So Bama, you hit it right on the head. It's this interrogation, and I wanted to look at it because it's very tricky. When you're dealing with someone that's in the same career field as you, especially in law enforcement, when you have to look at one of your peers as the suspect to a crime, they do know the base, they do know the tactics, right? They do know the questions, how the detectives ask to interrogate people to get them to say things and stuff. Sometimes you have these law enforcement that have committed crime that would, actually go ahead and tell the truth. And then others, if they're in a position, especially like him being a police chief, he probably know a little bit more than these guys do, right? So he'll know what to say. He'll know what not to say. He'll know when to call the quits of the interrogation for it to be over. However, I think in this situation, the reason why he's having this interrogation is because what I read about it a little bit, I know a little bit about the story. He was found on top of his victim. He was found on top of his victim. Now, I don't know if he was found on top of his victim naked, right? And they just happened to give him a hospital gown. That part I don't know. But from what I was reading a little bit about it, when the police was called to the hotel, he was on top of his victim. So I don't know what was going on between them. I don't know necessarily if the other guy was a part of the department or whatever not, but these were two grown men. They got into Oklahoma City. They had a hotel. They had a bunch of drinks or something. Something happened in the hotel room, and he was found on top of the victim. That's as much as I know about what happened with this police chief. But we're going to find out now with this interrogation. Yes, Bama, on top. He was found on top of the victim. Yeah. He has no shoes either. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's some leg he's showing. Ha! Yeah. He got them thighs that save lives, Miss Joanne. Shoot, I think his thighs might be a little bit bigger than mine. Shoot, I don't know. Sounds freaky. Yeah. Let's go on.
Yeah, it's not very far. Yeah, it's just right there.
Was it a early dinner, late dinner, or what?
Very early. It was, I don't even think it was dark yet.
Alright. And then tell me what you guys did once you got back to the hotel.
That's about it. Just watched football game.
Particular team, or just football in general?
That was a Dallas game starting.
Yes.
Dallas and somebody, I don't remember who.
All right. Do you remember hotel staff or hotel employee coming up and you guys keep it down?
Bama.
I don't remember that.
So what is the last thing you remember as far as that evening until the football game?
Michael doesn't know that the chief is dead, and he's about to ask in a very strange way.
Well, I mean, I know you're asking me questions, but can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, homicide. Who is dead?
Dead.
Dead.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
See, he's already testing him. He's already testing him in the situation. He's like, "Who's dead? What do you mean, who's dead, sir? They literally came in there and they found out that you was literally sitting on top of the victim. You don't have no clothes on. What else would they be having a discussion with you about? What else would they be having? You thought that they're not going to examine this guy's body or to see what was going on in that hotel room? Like this guy." But see, I want y'all to understand that this is a part of his tactic. He's getting extra information, right? The coughing, that was a clear sign of a coping mechanism because now he's trying to see how he's going to swing this since this is a quote unquote homicide. And he was very strategic to find out what he was being charged for. And this is why when you're interrogating other law enforcement, it's very, very hard. It's very, 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 very hard. He was smart to ask, what am I being charged for? This is a homicide? Okay. All right. So now I have to be more strategic about what I say and what I do in this interrogation. Let's see. Karen said, woo. Yep. Brucey said Dallas played the Vikings on that day. Oh, yeah. You knew. I guess you was watching that game, Brucey. Wow. He don't even care. Yeah. Rebel said, what kind of rhetorical question is that? It was a smart one because you can be clear on what type of charges that they're trying to put up on you. And then you can work and navigate the conversation, the interrogation going forward to see if you would say something that would criminalize you even more or not, right? Because right now it's a homicide, but they don't know whether or not if it was a homicide because of self-defense. This could be his opportunity to say that there was a form of self-defense there. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't know and you're just talking and saying, well, how was your day and what happened? Yeah, we were drinking. We was both drinking. Things got a little crazy. We got into an altercation. And, when you start talking in that type of way that we see with a lot of people, a lot of suspects who are just regular civilians and they don't have any background in a criminal background or anything, they don't know how the detectives are leading to get certain things from you. He knew that was very clear to ask about what type of charges they're bringing up. So now he'll know how to, second that, or he'll, keep certain information out. So maybe when he do get a lawyer, they can work with what framework they do have. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he's trying to be in control. Yes, he is controlling the interrogation. That's the most simplest way to put it. Let's go on.
So we're trying to figure out what happened.
I guess I probably don't have anything else to say then. I've got nothing to say to you.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Michael invokes his rights, but a trained detective has ways of getting a suspect to talk without asking them questions about the case.
Did you advise him what he was charged with?
No, Michael, you've been charged with second-degree murder.
Okay. I had no idea what I was being charged with.
Yeah, you're being charged with second-degree murder, and you're fixing to be booked in the Escambia County Jail with no bond. And we've already notified your wife.
Okay.
And
the victim,
yes.
I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've notified the department.
Okay.
And the task force head.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have any questions for us?
I mean, I've got 1,000 of them, but I mean, really doesn't make it.
Well, I mean, sure it does. I mean, if you want to talk, we'll sit here and listen to you talk. I mean, we'd love to know what the heck happened. But I mean, that's up to you. I mean, we'll answer your questions, in return. So
I would love to know what happened too.
Okay, so he has a clearer understanding of what he's being charged with. Now, that was a very smart tactic that they used on this police chief. Because remember, once he heard homicide, he was like, he was already ready to end the conversation, and he has nothing else to speak with these two guys, right? He knows the drill. Shut up and get a lawyer. But now, what these detectives did, they was like, okay, well, we're charging you with second-degree murder, and we already informed the task force. We already informed your wife. He started labeling all the people that they informed, right? And the reason why this is working, that's going to get him to open up, is because him being a police chief, his reputation is on the line. That's why I said that these detectives are very smart. They use the fact that the fear of his reputation that he has built up in his community, on the department, even the fact that maybe his wife don't even know that he was in a hotel shacked up with another fellow law enforcement officer. His reputation is on the line. So now he's fearing about them putting out the wrong narrative about him that he doesn't want. It's very smooth. It was very smooth that what he did. You know what I'm saying? What the detectives did. It was very smooth. That was one way to start getting him talking again. And then he was like, oh, well, I mean, I want to talk to you. I got a lot of things to say. But he was like, well, hey, listen, we're here to listen to you. We're here to listen to you. We're here to talk. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk. Because now he knows. And remember, this is why I said the battle of the wits, right? Because now he knows this is his opportunity as a narcissist. This is his opportunity to paint the narrative, to set the record straight. But he's still playing mind of the wits with these guys because now he's asking them, well, I would love to know what happened. That question right there is to find out how much those detectives know about the situation. He wants to understand what type of information they're going to give out to the public, or what information he gave out to the wife. What information did he give out to the department? So he asked that question strategically. He wants to know how much they know and what they assume went on. So then he can sit up here and listen and have a counterattack to what they might put out that won't paint him in a good light or paint him that he's innocent. This is crazy. This is good. This is going to be a really, really good one. This is going to be a good interrogation. I think I picked a real good one. Sweetheart said he ain't trying to incriminate himself. He's not. They need to bring in a non-partial set of detectives. I agree. They're supposed to have them. I'm not sure if they do, but at least so far we see that these detectives are doing their job. They're not being biased. And this is what we need them to do. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in front of your boss or you're sitting in front of some regular civilian that you don't know, don't have no relationship with, or anything like that. Are you going to do your job, or are you going to be biased? People of equal rank as he is. Miss Jalen said, talk too much. Cállate. Is he picking at his toes? Yes, he is. That is also part of the coping mechanism as well, a little bit. Child, this is getting good. It's getting juicy. It's getting juicy. Get your popcorn out. Get your popcorn right. He already invoked his right. Can what the cops doing, that tactic, be used against him? Yes, and that's why they have to be smart about it too. Because clearly they have not given him his Miranda rights. They haven't written him his Miranda rights. He did initially say that this conversation was over. So they are supposed to stop the conversation. However, I hope that they say, okay, if you want to speak with us, and he says, yeah, I want to speak with you guys, then that means that he's given the right to have this conversation and is on record. Now, if he says it again, his best bet is, if they don't do the right way to frame it in the beginning of this interrogation, that you're back on record, even though he initially invoked his right not to speak, then he will use that with his defense attorney to say that I invoked my rights to have this conversation. So anything after that, and I wasn't given my Miranda rights. Anything after that, it has to be thrown out. It cannot be used in court for what I said, because the proper proceedings didn't happen. But I like it because we're getting to see how the minds of the wits and how real strategic people are on both sides of the fence, when it comes down to the detective and when it comes down to some of these smart Alex, right? Who really are smart, or they understand what is actually taking place here. So we're getting a glimpse of this, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button for me. Truly appreciate it. And let's go on.
Well, I mean, do you want to continue to talk to us? If you do, then we'll tell you what happened.
I mean, I would love. I would like to know what happened. Because I'm telling you, I don't have any memory of any of this shit, and I'm shocked that it's dead. I mean, it's shocking. Tell you that. Maybe it could jog my memory. I have no idea. But I don't know.
Do you want to continue talking to us?
Yeah, I mean, I'll continue to talk. I'd like to know what happened. I mean, if you'll tell me what happened, that'd be great.
See exactly what I said? It's the battle of the wits. He's trying to get them to tell him what happened, but he doesn't want to really say that, you know what? I know I revoked my right, or invoked my rights, and I said that I wanted a lawyer and I wanted to end the conversation, but he still wants them to tell him what is going on and get the information out. These detectives realize that's what he's doing. So they're telling him, hey, if you really want to sit down and speak with us, we'll tell you what's going on, but you have to say that you're willing to comply to speak with us, and you have to be under, memorandum rights. He's trying to find a way to get that information without being under memorandum rights. So this won't be put into court. This would be thrown out in court. So he's smart. He's really smart, and he's really playing it. He's really playing the game right now. Now he don't have memory. Dude, you're in the hospital gown. You naked. Thank you, Bama, darling. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sweetheart said he don't give a F. No, he don't. I mean, he literally is. He's playing the game right now. This is battle of the wits right now. He's trying to get information without actually, agreeing to comply with this interrogation, because he knows that he can just get a lawyer and say that this all was done without me being signed or sworn in under my Miranda rights, and it can't be used in court. Vodka-induced memory loss. Yeah. All of a sudden, his amnesia. Right. Let's go on.
Okay. Well, we'll continue this interview with you. It's like I'm trying to get you to figure out what's the last thing you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And if the last thing you remember was watching football, do you remember drinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you drinking the vodka?
Yeah, I drank some vodka. Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to figure out if you stopped anywhere, because there was a bottle of vodka in the refrigerator. So,
okay.
Like I said, we've all flown on airplanes, and we know you can't carry.
Yeah, that was before dinner. I think that was either before dinner or right after dinner. Bought that vodka. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I know being out there's that liquor store right, probably to the front and to the right of, the hotel.
Yep.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first call came a little bit after 6, I believe. One of the guys that was the room next to you didn't say you guys were arguing, just being loud, just laughing, yelling. Probably maintenance or security came up, knocked on your door, answered it. The guy said, "Can you guys keep it down? We got a noise complaint." He said, "Fine, we'll keep it down."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next noise complaint came out about 9 minutes till 10 in the evening. This one was from the other neighbor, because the one beside you, the first complainant, they moved his room because you guys were continuing just to be loud. Nothing out of sorts, just being loud. This time he can't get anybody to come to the door. All he hears, he's knocking. He hears just grumbling, grunting. Uses his car to get in. Walks in, and you remember the room layout. There's 2 queen beds. He is on the ground between the bed and the wall. You are sitting on his chest. His face is beaten, and he tells you, "Get off of him, get off of him." Pulls you off of him. You go on the bed, roll off the bed, fall on your face, and that's where the nose and the lip get busted and unresponsive.
Okay.
The statement that was given by the second noise complaint,
yep,
could hear a male saying, "Mike, stop, Mike, stop," and then it just went quiet.
You would think that a detective who is familiar with the law and who has just been charged with homicide would remain silent and ask for a lawyer. So far, Michael has done everything you should not do in his situation. He hasn't shown remorse or sympathy for his chief or the chief's family, which would have gone a long way in proving his accidental death. He also hasn't spoken with a lawyer first, so they could discuss his options moving forward.
Dead, Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir. He's dead. He was found dead between his bed and the wall. His face was, his right eye was pretty much swollen shut.
Does any of that jog your memory, Mike?
No, it doesn't.
Did you have any kind of animosity or anything like that towards?
Not at all. No.
Have you ever had a violent outburst or anything like that before when you were drinking?
No.
Anybody ever told you that you got violent when you drank?
No. Yeah, that's, I can't believe it.
There's a lot of people, like I said, commander down in your unit said you guys were practically brothers.
Yeah,
you were too.
Yes, appreciate it. Thank you so much, Brucey. Truly appreciate it.
It's possible that Michael could very well be in shock, which would explain his behavior. A person suffering from shock will have an altered mental state. Their mind feels like it's in a fog, which slows down their alertness and awareness. They will also be in denial about their situation.
Do you have any questions for us, Mike?
It's just unbelievable.
You know, it's funny because it's not that he's not in shock. He could be in shock, but I think he's more in shock of the fact that this is something that is going to destroy his career, right? This is something that maybe his wife didn't know about, right? And even when they're talking about the situation from whoever came into the room, which I guess was the hotel host or something like that, after the complaints from the neighboring hotel rooms, they complained about what was going on and what they were hearing in there. He's more concerned about himself. He's not concerned about this guy. You asked him, you heard him himself. He didn't have any, quote unquote, he had no issues with this guy, no confrontation with them. Obviously, y'all did enjoy each other because y'all went on a trip with each other. I don't know if it was a work trip, but you went on a trip with each other. You had hotels where y'all was staying in the same hotel room. Y'all went out drinking. Y'all went and stopped to stores to go get alcohol and stuff. And like I said, there's a reason why he's just sitting there and he's listening to them tell the story, because he needs to know what he needs to bring up to his lawyer and how they're going to swing this when the time comes. When the time comes, he needs to understand what narrative that these detectives or the prosecutor who's going to take on this case, what way they're going to go by this. But I also will say that it's kind of strategic too, that he's still not saying much, really, even though he just agreed to, continue on with this interrogation, that he's not really saying much. He's just doing a whole lot of grunting, a whole lot of, I'm thinking and I'm trying to process. And then he's still trying to, say that he's in denial, like none of this ever happened. But you can't even explain to them why you're naked. You can't even explain why you're naked. Oh boy. Mm-mm. Look how he's sitting. He doesn't care. No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care because he's sitting up there plotting. Him sitting there the way he's sitting is him plotting. He's not caring about that this guy is gone. He's caring about how he's going to get out of this. How is he going to swing this? Or he's going to say that he suffered from alcohol poisoning? He can't, because right now you're not sick. Nobody had to pump your stomach. You don't have blood coming from your stomach and anything, So it's not like you really did suffer from alcohol poisoning. And, but his narrative is that they drunk a lot and they blacked out. But again, he understand that they was watching the game. He remembered that they was watching the game. He remembered that they was drinking and stuff. But then you telling me you don't remember about a confrontation or argument with this guy about what? I don't know, whatever, what. But it seemed like you beat this guy to a pulp. You beat this guy to a pulp. You was strangling him, punching him, and then you was found sitting on his chest, and like, this is wicked. This is really, really wicked. Let me go ahead and continue on with this. Wow.
Unbelievable. I just,
Did you make any phone calls? I mean,
I called my wife, earlier in the night. It's, man, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Why do you say that?
I got no problem. I can't believe what you're telling me. It has happened. I can't believe it. Wow.
Well, this sucks for us just as much as it does for you. I mean, having to arrest a fellow officer, for something like this.
Is dead. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Huh. And from what? What's he dead from?
Well, right now, said we don't know until we have the autopsy.
Right. I'm feeling my hands. My hands don't feel anything. What's he dead from? I don't understand.
I mean, it appears that he's been beat to death by all indicators that we have at this time that we can physically see.
Right.
It gives the appearance that he's beat to death. His head is very swollen, like we said. His right eye is completely shut, and as he laid there, as time was going on, as we were getting the search warrants and everything together that we needed to do, bruises were starting to show up even more. I mean, you can't think of anything that would have triggered you to jump on?
Nothing. I mean, it's nothing. It's unbelievable.
Something happened at some point in time that triggered a reaction from you, and that's what we're just trying to figure out ourselves. I mean, we find out that you guys are down here for a damn homicide and crime scene class.
Yeah.
Sent down here by
Brucey, go in the corner.
And then this mess happens this morning or last night. It just throws all of us for a loop. It throws all your bosses and everything, your partners and everything else for a loop.
Yep. Got no problem. I don't. It's just unbelievable. I don't know.
Stop it, Brucey.
At what point in the game do you remember?
And we went out to eat.
Was the game playing when y'all left to go out to eat?
No, we came back. It was a Dallas game. I don't even know what time it started. He kept wanting to go out. I just kept telling him I don't want to go out. It's a bad idea. You shouldn't go out.
Where was he wanting to go?
In the bar. nowhere specific, you know.
Nah, Miss Jalen is not representing this guy.
Did he keep on about it and you got upset about that?
Well, he kept on about it, but I don't remember getting upset about it. You know, he kept on about it. It's like, it seemed later than it was, you know, it seemed late.
Yeah, it's time change, man. It messes everything up. It gets darker a whole lot quicker, and it does. It seems later than it is.
Yep. And, you know, he kept wanting to go out. Let's go to the bar. When you go to the bar, I said, that's a bad idea. We shouldn't, you know, let's not do that. I mean, I wasn't pissed off at him, for God's sakes. Shit.
Okay.
Now, I remember you said that he got the bottle of vodka. Were you guys both drinking vodka or just?
So I'm trying to wonder, did this situation happen because of the game? I don't think so, because the thing about it is, he's not even really that concerned about the game. The detectives asked him about, you know, oh, was the game playing when y'all was at the bar initially? He said no. And he said that the guy kept on saying, hey, let's go out to the bar and get some drinks. And you was kind of like, no, we shouldn't do that. Let's just kick it in the house, you know, kick it in the hotel room. So even though like the framework is about this game, and I understand football rivalry can get real serious at sometimes, you know, trust me, if you ever saw a Spades game, you know what I'm talking about. But it doesn't seem like this is really over maybe the game. It doesn't seem like, you know, they were on opposite teams, and whoever team was losing that night is the reason why this set this all off. One person wanted to stay in the hotel and drink, and the other one wanted to go, you know, to the bar and hang out. That seems more on a personal kind of a personal level, you know what I'm saying? Like it seemed more like a girlfriend telling their man that they want to go out and the man want to stay in the house. That's what type of vibe I'm kind of getting from this. I'm not getting like, oh, my Vikings are losing and I'm like throwing it in your face. Yeah, we're winning, blah 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 blah. It doesn't seem that way. It doesn't seem that way at all. Let's see. Brucey said vodka makes cops clothes full. You know, Brucey, go in the corner. Go in the corner. Sweetheart said he keeps on looking down. Yeah, he does. He's not necessarily trying to look in his face. But then again, he's not really giving that much information anyway. He's literally allowing the detectives to, you know, tell him how things kind of like played out, really. Let's see. That should be a country song. Let's see. Benjamin said, I really think it was more about the hotel happenings. You know, I think so too, Benjamin. Shout out to you. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Yes, thank you. Yeah, like that's what it really does seem like. It seems like, you know, somebody wanted to stay in and they were like, no, babe, let's go outside. Let's go to the bar. We finally got away from our wives and children and we're not even at work. Let's go and hang out. Nah, I just want to kick it in the hotel room. That's what it kind of seemed like to me. Joanne said, you said that there was always a country song for every situation, Brucey, but these guys, yes. Yeah, it's given that for sure. It is given that. You know, you never take me anywhere. We always end up in this hotel. I want to show you up. Exactly, Brucey. Go in the corner though, but that's what it's giving. That's what it's seriously giving. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to say this, but it's definitely giving me some Brokeback Mountain. If you understand what I'm putting down, okay? Let's go on.
Yeah, I drank vodka with him, you know.
Because that way it'll be something the ME's office will need to know, especially when we do the toxicology.
I can't, it's unbelievable. I just cannot believe, can't believe it.
Michael would be sentenced to life in prison for taking the life of Police Chief Lucky Miller. Lucky's sister would speak at Michael's sentencing in regards to the death of her brother. She stated, "One of the things I struggle with the most is trying to understand how the person who was his partner and friend and knows all of us was the one who took his life, even when Lucky was pleading with him to stop. I cannot fathom how a person, especially one who was sworn to serve and protect others, could take someone else's life with his bare hands."
And that's where we're at, because like I said, there's our department that's wanting to know what happened, and there's your department wanting to know what happened.
Oh, I get you.
And at that time, like I said, we didn't know what your condition was, whether we were going to get answers or not, and then like I said, there's more questions than answers.
Yeah, it's giving me that. It's totally giving me that.
Especially since you guys had such a close relationship to begin with.
Yep.
Anything else?
You got any questions for us, Mike, before we get you across the street?
No, I guess I'm getting booked into jail, and
yes, sir. Okay. Yep, we're gonna get you booked in the jail and put in special housing over there so that you're not back there with the heads and stuff.
Right.
And protective custody. You're not wanting to harm yourself or anything, are you?
No.
Okay. Do you have any kind of medical issues?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. You don't take any kind of, you take asthma medication, right?
Yeah, I've got some inhalers.
Is that something that you have to have every day?
No, it's as needed. Usually, yeah, I take the one usually every day, but it's not, I don't know if it's doing any good or not, but one of them that I need sometimes.
Well, just make sure that you tell them that over there when that nurse is talking with you, that you tell them all that so that they can get that stuff for you.
Shit, man, I can't. I just can't believe it. It's unbelievable.
Well, that's what we're just trying to figure out. You know, I mean, things happen. Bad things happen.
Yep.
Sometimes, and there is no excuse for it, no reason why. We don't know. It's a moment in time where I guess you don't realize what's going on.
Car's going with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you all check.
Brucey, you're forgiven. Don't worry about it.
This is Investigator Martinez with the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Interview, and it is conducted at the Hilton on Pensacola Beach, 12 Via de Luna. Present during this interview is Deputy Sheriff Lloyd and John Gardner. Can you state your name for the record, sir?
John Garner.
Mr. Gardner, are you employed with the Hilton, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you been employed?
Since April of 2018.
Okay. Mr. Gardner, what are some of your duties here at the Hilton?
I'm in charge of maintenance of the property on nights.
Okay. Were you working on the day of the homicide here at the Hilton?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me about that night or that evening?
Started off all normal, no worries. The room in question had a service call at approximately 6 o'clock for a TV remote. Went up to the room and saw the two gentlemen. Everything was fine, including the TV remote, which is in the room on the table.
Okay. Did you go in the room to?
Not at that time. I was standing in the doorway and I saw the TV remote And then all I asked is, are the batteries good? And he said, let me check. So he checked and everything was fine.
Okay.
And then I left.
All right. Was that first time also any time someone, as far as you getting noise complaints about the room, or was
There
that?
was no noise complaints at that time.
Okay. So the second time you went up to the room, what was that?
The last one.
The second time was a noise complaint from the guest in room 525. And we wound up moving those guests to another room, and I told one of the gentlemen that just brought his head to the door with it just open slightly that we have a noise complaint and you guys need to calm down. This is your first warning. And he said, okay, we'll calm them down.
Okay. And what about the next time?
Next time was after the guest in 529 had a noise complaint, and then they actually, after they made a noise complaint, they came down and said it all of a sudden went silent. We don't hear anything. And so I went up to the room and I knocked on the door, 527, announced myself as maintenance security, and all I got was a grunt in return. I knocked on the door one more time, announced myself again. All I got was a grunt in return. Third time, knock, grunt, and then I called on the radio down to the front desk and told them I'm going into the room. I'm not getting anybody to come to the door, and all I'm hearing is a grunting noise. They said, okay, you're authorized to go in. I went, opened the door, announced myself. I could not see anybody other than someone's feet on the floor between the bed and the wall. I walked in further, saw one gentleman sitting on top of the other gentleman, and I told him he needed to get up, and all he would do was grunt. I observed some blood on the sheets. I need to lock that.
Man, listen. What's going on?
You using this room? Yep, just for a few minutes. Let's see. He was sitting on top of the gentleman. I told him to get up. All he did was grunt, and I said, okay. Observed some blood on the sheets. And I asked him one more time, get up off the gentleman. The gentleman that was laying on the floor, I kind of noticing him, if any movement on his chest was happening. I didn't notice any. So then I called down to the front desk on my radio and said, call for the deputies. And I asked the gentleman to get up off the other one. All he did was grunt again. This whole time his eyes were just barely open and closing.
Okay. When you say his eyes were barely open, are we talking the guy on the ground or the one that was on his chest?
The one that was on his chest.
Okay.
Brucey's a hot
I couldn't see the gentleman's face on the ground. my third time asking him to get up. He did not. He grunted. I got up on the bed, grabbed the gentleman sitting, grabbed him by the arm up near the shoulder, pulled him off to have him fall on the bed. And I noticed the gentleman on the floor, his face was discolored. And then I called on the radio, called for the ambulance, the rescue squad. And then the gentleman that was sitting on him, I then realized he's on the floor, face first in the carpet. And I didn't do any more until, other than going to the door and just observing the one on the floor staying still. As far as the gentleman, I pulled off, and there was still no movement from the other gentleman that was being sat on.
And that was the one between the bed and the wall?
Yes. Okay. And then I just waited for the deputies to arrive, and then they took over the room.
Okay. So when you said you waited, were you waiting in the
doorway,
the threshold of the door?
Yes.
And the door was open, no one came in, no one left?
Other than me, no one went in that room.
Okay. So, and the gentleman
I was keeping the door open mainly to keep an eye on the gentleman that was face first that I pulled off.
Okay. So when you said you got on the bed, you pulled him up, did he come up onto the bed with you? Or did you pull him?
I was on the bed. I was standing on the mattress.
Okay. Yeah.
And I grabbed him by, like I said, the upper arm or shoulder area, and I pulled him to get him off. I was intending him to stay on the bed.
Okay.
I wasn't actually trying to throw him across the room, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. So, and the gentleman you saw sitting on, we'll say it's the victim that was laying on the ground between the wall and the bed, is the one that was laying face down near the dresser and the foot of the bed, correct? He's the same guy that EMS attended to once they arrived.
As far as I know, the EMS attended both of them.
Okay. But he's the one that got removed from the room. Were you there when he got transported?
Yes.
Okay.
The one they transported was the one I pulled off, the one that was sitting on
the chest
of the guy between the bed and the wall.
Okay. All right. And then you also provided us the log of the card reader on the door, correct?
I did.
Okay. And that'll show the time that you went into the room?
Yes, it will. Okay.
All right. Is there anything else that you think that is important that you can remember more about that evening?
What's important? Nothing glaring at me.
Okay. All right. Will you raise your right hand for me? You swear or affirm what you told me today is the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is Investigator Martinez, and this will conclude the interview.
Thank you for...
So the reason why this police chief got life in prison is because he kind of intentionally unalived his fellow officer. He was asked numerous of times by the hotel maintenance person to get off this guy's chest, and all he did was grunt. And I think the grunting that he similarly did is what he was doing in the interrogation room when the detectives were telling him certain things. You remember how he'll sit back, he go, I don't believe it. The reason why he got life in prison is because you told your fellow detectives that you don't have no medical history with, having blackouts or going through PTSD or anything of that. So you have already admitted that you don't have any medication for that. You're not taking any medication for that. You was told numerous of times to get off the guy's chest. You was found on the guy's chest. You know, you was at the scene of the crime. To me it was a done deal. It was a done deal, seal and deliver. And then the fact is that, you know, I'm sure the witness statement from the victim's family and his sister and stuff, how they was always together, they were so close, everybody in the family knew each other, everybody's family. So they was kind of like, you know, shocked about what would have ever taken place between these two fellows to make him do something like that. And then we see that there's no marks or bruise on him. There's none. So we can't even say that this was like a back and forth, that they were both harming and fighting each other. He had no bruises or anything on him. The only one who was beaten to a pulp was the victim. He was the only one that was touched. So it means that he went after that victim probably while he was sleeping and did what he did. That was sad. That was really, really sad. But I'm glad that we got to actually see an interrogation where you see the real battle of the wits take place. And we got to see it from one professional to two professionals, right? One professional, he's probably higher ranking than them or at the same ranking as them. They got the same training and everything under the sun. But those detectives was able to pull him in to still have the interrogation, even though he tried to get as much information out of them without being under the Miranda rights. So later on, if they try to use this interrogation against him in the court, his lawyers can say, hey, we need to throw this out because he wasn't under his Miranda rights. He did not agree to the interrogation. So it was really, really good to see that happen and see that play out, because a lot of people don't realize that that is what's going on, or they don't get that many opportunities to see, you know, what happens when law enforcement is really dealing with law enforcement. It's a very tricky situation. And it really takes someone who really knows their job, know what they're doing, understands people, and also who is not biased, right? Because we know that we could tend to be biased to the people that we are around, the people that we work with, because we form relations and friendships throughout the years with people, right? And I know we don't necessarily mean to be biased, but it is just a natural state to show leniency or show grace or more understanding for people that we know, love, and share relations with. But, you know, rest in peace to that police officer. That was crazy. That was insane that to get beaten to a pulp like that. I still believe, in my own personal opinion, it was some Brokeback Mountain shit going on. Like maybe the guy made an advance at him with the other guy sleeping. He said, what are you doing? And when he couldn't get him to get down, he decided that, well, now I have to definitely, you know, get rid of you, because I can't have that, my reputation being ruined. You know, I really truly believe that that's what happened. All right, good folks, it is 9:20 on my side of town. Thank y'all so much for rocking out with me. You could have been anywhere on a Sunday, but you decided to rock out with me. You could have been sleeping. I know y'all got to get ready for the work week that's coming up Monday. I actually have to get ready to go back to work on Monday. If y'all haven't known, I have been off of work for a very long time dealing with bereavement. But yeah, I want to say, if I don't come back next week, and I know it's definitely the beginning of all the holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates the holiday. Happy holidays. I will put out a notification to let y'all know if I do go live next week when I have the opportunity. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right. I really want y'all to stay well, stay warm, love on your families, love your friends, let them know how you love them and appreciate them. And I just want to say, I appreciate all of you. Okay. I really do. Talk to you later, everyone. Good night.